fun of having a list is checking it off. That's it. Boy, at the end of the day, if you can go, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, whatever it is, right? You get into the habit. So load up your list, the things you want. Now, when you check off something major, celebrate. That's an important point to make. Celebrate your achievements. Live it up. Have a party when you reach something you've worked for a while. See, we all grow from two experiences. One is called the pain of losing. The other one is called the joy of winning. We need both of them. Amplify them as much as you can, which also means make losing painful. If you set up something, fooled around, didn't get it, put it on yourself. On the other side, if you did get it, congratulate yourself. Self-congratulations is a sign of maturity. Seeking congratulations is a sign of immaturity. But hey, winning and losing, see, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Now, some people lead such mediocre lives, at the end of the day, they don't know whether they're winning or losing. They got no clue. Guy's just going through the day with his fingers crossed. There's a better way. Okay, here's the third category of goals: personal development. Put those goals together. Personal development goals. That's your goals to be stronger, more decisive, be a speaker, be a leader, learn a language, all kinds of skills. Okay, the whole weekend seminar was designed to improve all your skills so that you walk away more skillful. And that's what you want, the personal development skills. That's what attracts, that's what brings good things to your life, the person you become more skillful. Now, this is quite a package to work on. Economics, things, personal development. For tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, long range. Okay, that'll get you started. Now, here's the simple formula for setting goals. It goes like this. A, work on your goals. That's step one. Work on them. And I put the word work there deliberately. Setting goals is plain hard work. I don't want to kid you. We haven't come here tonight to kid each other. It's work. I know it's work. That's why a lot of people just let it slide. It's work. Many people work hard on their job, but they don't work hard on their future. They just let that slide. And the work involved is making plans. I know most people don't. I understand that. But don't let that be you. Guy says, well, yeah, you work where I work, but the time you struggle home, it's late. You got to eat a bite of supper, watch a little TV, get to bed. You can't sit up half the night. Plan, plan, plan. And the guys behind. Good worker, hard worker, sincere. But you got to be better than sincere, working hard. You got to be better than a good worker. You got to be a good planner. So work on your goals. Here's step 2. Write your goals down. That's so important.
I would like it if we could fill up the front seats, so that I don't have to come so much backwards, and then those who are coming in later don't have to interrupt us and break our flow. Could we come forward, please? We have seats here. We have seats here. I really would like to interact with people a bit more closer. Thank you, sir. One of those churches where usher will tell you, go to the front. We are begging you, please come to the front. You know, you're the guys with the money, so please. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I'm sure that we all know why we are here. Because everybody, to have made it into this hall this afternoon, you had to have an invite. Without that invite, it would have been impossible to make it in here. So I'll ask us very briefly, before we start, And then before I introduce myself, what our expectations are for this event. We are unveiling the blueprint for profitable investing in 2025. And this is brought to you courtesy of Encrypt Capital. My name is Engineer Idaran Tewo, and it is my singular honor and pleasure to welcome you to this event. We're sorry for the amount of time we've taken already. It is due to factors beyond our control, whether they are within or without. We always say that they are beyond our control, so it's like it's in God's preview. Sorry, excuse me. So honestly, bad behavior is not good, though. Bad behavior is not good. I had an earpiece on my neck. I had to take him to tell me to take it off so that it looks good on the pictures. Ordinarily, wherever you find me, you'll find me an earpiece around my neck because I'm basically a production person. So I always have to have an earpiece to hear audio and, you know, decipher sounds and all of that. All right. Is there anybody here who doesn't have a money problem? Doesn't have a money problem. So we agree, we all have a money problem. Is it possible that money becomes enough for anybody? Is it possible that there's a human being who has enough money? I doubt it. I doubt it. I haven't seen that person. Because if you find yourself in the poor class, you're trying to get more to get into average and then probably rich class, upper class. And if you're in upper class, you intend to stay in upper class. That is why Encrypt Capital has brought this to us today. For those of us who are probably have been associated with the company in one way or another, you know the services that the company brings your way. But for those who do not, you definitely are here to understand this, and believe me, your minds are going to be blasted. Lower. All right. Because at the end of the day, you live with more knowledge. Before we do too much talking, I would like to reference about 4 videos, which we shall play shortly. Next slide. Let me have the quick one. Go next. A couple of videos. I would like us to pay close attention because
Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time,
these videos were specifically picked. Pause it.
About $100
These
billion.
videos were
Warren
specifically
Buffett,
picked
the
and
greatest investor of all
curated
time,
for us to
currently
pick a
worth
or
about
two,
$100 billion.
and they will be instructive
And
in
of
guiding
that
about today's conversation. For those of us who are just coming in, as you register, please come forwards and sit. We're about to begin.
Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, is currently worth about $100 billion. And of that $100 billion, 99.7 billion came after his 50th birthday. 97 billion of it came after his 65th birthday. Which is astounding, isn't it? Investing is something that you should really measure over decades. It's decades, not even years. I'm talking decades, or lifetime. You can get good growth out of the stock market in a few years. You can do well in the stock market, but the big returns that I think so many of us want and come to expect from investing, the kinds of returns that can really change your life and provide independence, that usually only happens on decade timescales. When you've been investing consistently for 10 or 20 or 30 years, that's when you get astounding results.
Stay small until you figured out what's working. A startup is a search for a scalable and repeatable business model. And so what you're really doing is you're searching. And until you found that business model that you can repeat and you can scale, you should stay very, very small and very, very cheap. stay small until you figured out what's
I grew up the second of 7 brothers to hardworking, poor parents. My dad was a plumber, my mom was a hairdresser. I'm the second of 7. I have 1 older brother, I have 5 younger brothers. We learned to work hard for money when we were growing up, but we didn't learn how to make money work hard for us. By the grace of God, I was the first person in my family to become a millionaire and a multimillionaire and a multi. And I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you. And the way I did that was I figured out how to create useful solutions for people other than me. Do you realize the way to get rich is not figuring out how you can get rich, it's figuring out how to solve big problems for big pools of people with big pockets full of money.
Okay, go ahead. You didn't. I doubt it did.
I grew up the second of 7 brothers to hardworking, poor parents. My dad was a plumber, my mom was a hairdresser. I'm the second of 7. I have 1 older brother, I have 5 younger brothers. We learned to work hard for money when we were growing up, but we didn't learn how to make money work hard for us. By the grace of God, I was the first person in my family to become a millionaire and a multimillionaire and a multi. And I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you. And the way I did that was I figured out how to create useful solutions for people other than me. Do you realize the way to get rich is not figuring out how you can get rich, it's figuring out how to solve big problems for big pools of people with big pockets full of money.
A penny is a penny. A penny saved is not a penny earned. A penny saved is a penny depreciated. And $1 saved is $1 depreciated. And $100 saved is $100 depreciated. And $1,000 saved is $1,000 depreciated. And your money becomes worth at least 2% less every year you're alive. Every dollar in your pocket today is only going to be worth at most 98 cents a year from now. And you saving money. I wish I thought I'd be saving some money. That must be some kind of out of my mind. If you take a penny invested, might be 6 pennies earned. $100 invested might be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, $20 earned. There's a difference between saving and investing. Saving money doesn't make sense. You're saving something that becomes worth less over time. Rich people don't save money, we invest it. We invest it because time makes money more valuable if it's invested correctly. Time can make money more valuable, and money can make time more valuable. People think that the quality of their life is created by the number of years of experience they have doing a thing. But I submit to you that the quality of your life is determined by the number of experiences you put in those years. If you take 1 vacation a year and you live for 20 years, you got 20 more vacations. What happens when you become successful enough to take 5 vacations a year? You get to take 100 years worth of vacations in the next 20 years. It's like living an extra 100 years of vacation life. Money makes time more valuable. A penny.
All right, before we go into the last video, which is a bit comical, I would like to ask if there was any particular video that stood out for anybody. You could just raise your hand. I would come to you and you just share with us what particular thought line resonated with you from the 4 videos we've just watched. Anybody? I'll start myself. And it is that first, It's actually the power of compound interest, which is video 1. And when I got introduced by Gbolahan to the concept of compounding in investing, and I saw how powerful it became, or how powerful it could be if implemented properly, I didn't realize that applied knowledge is actually the difference between haves and have-nots. And I'm sure that for those of us who don't already know it, the statistics and data that will be discussed with us today will open up our minds entirely to what the potential of compound interest is and actually can be. Number 2. Naval here is talking about, he says, until you find something repeatable and scalable, stay small. Have you realized that money exposes who you truly are? Money exposes who you truly are. You sometimes see people who are rich, stupendously rich sometimes, and you're wondering, why did they do that? It's simple. It's because that is who they are. Bring it to business. If you have a business and you have not been able to have a clear-cut edge, multiplying it probably because you have access to capital can be very destructive. Because in the end, it is how you know it at the small level that you magnify and amplify it when you eventually have access to serious capital. And I'm sure you would get to learn how Encrypt started small, how Encrypt mastered its strategies and has decided to make it scalable. And that is why all of us have been called here today, because we are at the point where we have a product and a service that we want as many people as possible to benefit from. In the third video, Mr. Gaudet talks about
Stay small until you figure out what.
Figuring out how to solve big problems for a big pool of people, deep pockets. This is basically our story at the end of the day. We've solved a small problem that almost everybody has, and therefore we are here to let us all into it. Who amongst us has had either in childhood or has kids and then we educate these kids on how to use piggy bank? Kolo? Who amongst us? Sir, you were educated on how to use Kolo, am I correct? And you educate your kids on how to use Kolo? Doing Kolo? Okay. Now, how long have you been with us, sir? Encrypt? Few months. All right. Huh? I don't know if any of us has keep it. I'll still ask you a question, sir. Hold on. I don't know if any of us has anybody who said, I forgot if not that I did not save my phrase to your Bitcoin wallet. I had at least 1,000 Bitcoins in it. If we don't know, at least we've heard stories of people who didn't keep their password phrase and now do not have access to it. Have we not heard those kind of stories? You've heard those kind of stories? So don't do that again. Yourself. Wow. Accept my sincere sympathy, because of all the mistakes a man can make, man, that is one mistake that you don't want your name to be written against. Say, for reach, if not, even 1 BTC. Now, even 0.1 BTC self, you are made. Now, the way the rich think about money is not the way the poor think about money. You find that there are offices where people get employment and you are treated anyhow. And you wonder, why does your boss treat you like this? I'm a human being. He should know, he should appreciate my humanity. He should know that I have children at home too. He should know that I have to feed my kids. At least we have worked. The economy is this. He should. Your boss doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe you anything outside of your salary. Even your salary, sometimes they feel it is a privilege. Because if I don't employ you, I will employ someone else. And I'll do what? I'll pay that person. Salary is the how is it said? Salary is the what you are paid to keep you poor. When you have money, what you are able to do is you are able to buy time. And with buying other people's time comes what? Freedom. Freedom for yourself, freedom for those who are around you. This is why we need to re-educate ourselves, re-educate our wards, our siblings, and all of those around us. People say sometimes, oh, so politician is misbehaving. Don't they know that after stealing all this money, they will still mingle among the poor? It's a lie. They don't mingle among the poor. Don't mingle among you. They have a different world of their own. While the masses, I'm not a mass, child. I'm more of an English than a mass. The masses have a world of theirs. Fact is that we need to change our trajectory of thoughts. We need to change our trajectory of actions. And that is the only thing that would change our manifested results. I remember having a piggy bank as a child. We take this toilet paper, the paper tube, in between. Seal the front with the calendar, seal the back with the calendar, cut a hole inside and drop coins. Then coins were a thing. Later I started putting notes in it. Now we have very elaborate colo where carpenter gets it sorted out for you, fix stuff in it. And at the end of the year, how much can you possibly save? How much? You can only save as much as that piggy bank can contain. And from the video we just watched, you would have heard that money saved depreciates by at least 2% every year. Since I heard that the best way to hedge is by investing, everybody who knows me now, I talk about Bitcoin. Please, as against, don't worry, you hear everything here today. I want us to sit back, relax, and enjoy everything, enjoy the whole experience. But in order for us to enjoy the experience, ladies and gentlemen, it is really very important that we have learned in the past, and that is good. We need to unlearn to be able to relearn. And I am hopeful that at the end of today's seminar, we will be properly equipped to face 2025 and make it our most profitable year yet. People talk about real estate. Oh, buy land when it is, 5 naira. You didn't buy when it's 5 naira. It became 10 million. Look, the best time to have started anything was yesterday. The second best time is today. With this, I would like us to listen to a couple of people who have enjoyed, participated, and collaborated with Encrypt Capital in the past and have a couple of things to say. Let's move the slides.
A penny is a penny. A penny saved is not a penny earned. A penny saved is a penny depreciated. And a dollar saved is a dollar depreciated. And $100 saved is $100.
Has a fractured fibula, given mom.
To know about the community in 2023. I met with Gbolahan over lunch and then he shared his idea with me. Proud that trading hasn't been that profitable because most of the time you lose some and then you win some.
Hello everyone, my name is Tejumade Shiyambola. I live in Ile-Ife. I'm actually an associate professor in my field of study in Obafemi Awolowo University.
What's going on, everybody? Yours truly, Toby speaking. If you're seeing this video right now, it's me sharing with you a life-changing opportunity. But rather, I would like to point you out to the way in which you can emancipate yourself, cut yourself out from the crowd of people who are going to be lamenting, suffering, or become victims of what's definitely going to come.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Adebayo, and I met Gbolahan almost a decade ago now. Actually more than a decade ago now. And we've had relationships on different bases, but financially we've had a lot of work together. And I want to start by saying that Gbolahan has proven to me to be a trustworthy person.
The losses were more than the wins, so it hasn't made it profitable. But speaking with Gbolahan, the community has been able to help mitigate this by using risk management and then making sure that the wins are more than the loss, because that's what makes you profitable.
I met Gbolahan about 2 years ago. With the experience that I've had with the previous company I was with, they are incomparable. Gbolahan is accessible. The team doesn't mess up with your money. They don't gamble with money. They try as much as possible to ensure that your capital is intact.
I remember a few years ago, this was when he was just starting out. He had introduced me to this business idea and he wanted me to make some investment, and honestly I wasn't sure that the investment will work, and we had a conversation around it. But then he convinced me and we did, and he promised me that if there was a problem he was going to pay me back my money. And of course there was a problem. We lost everything in the market. But then, Gbolahan was like a son to me, and he could have said he's not paying and he doesn't have money, and there was nothing I could have done about it. But Gbolahan went ahead and paid me back every time that was invested. It took him some time, but he did, and for me that was a show of integrity. It was someone that could be trusted. Since then we've still had business relationships. Some have worked, some haven't, but the truth is Gbolahan is a trusted person. This new idea, the HI and the HIP, is something I have personally been invested in now for almost a year, and it's been a great experience. And yes, I would rightly recommend him and say yes, you would have your money in a good hands, in someone whose appetite for risk is very low, someone who does risk management very well. These days, sometimes when it looks like we're losing money in the market, I am not even worried, because I know that we would always make it back, because he has this plan that just seems to work every time.
I'm not going to bore you by telling you all the harsh economic realities that is coming, that is definitely going to get worse. This is how you yourself can become a smart investor, get on your pathway to retiring very early, ensure your money can work for you while you concentrate on other things.
So I believe in Gbolahan because his ways to do research has been so keen and then in-depth. He's been able to get gold out of the mines, and I really like that about him. He's very, very detailed and very, very transparent in his dealing.
And the most beautiful part of this is that your money is going to be within your control. So you have control, yet you're making more money for yourself. Think about that.
I was a bit skeptical, didn't want to join because of the experience I'd had in the past with the copy trading. But since I joined, Gbolahan's team had done brilliantly well. They made me money, about 20% of my money I made in the space of less than a week, with about $450. That's just in addition to the HIN, the high impact news that we trade together. I've actually introduced my own family, particularly my husband, to Gbolahan's company. My husband is a professor of about 20 years. He doesn't take things lightly in terms of investing money, but because he trusts my judgment, I've introduced him, he's invested too, and we're fine.
We have a track record that you don't want to miss out on. Over 60% done in the last 6 months, and definitely it can only get better with us.
So yeah, I like this, I believe in this. It's been profitable for me so far, so good.
Even sky is not the limit for what we can do together. Just trying with some money. I've invested money that I didn't know anything, where he even put that money. I didn't have time. He invested the money. He came back with my capital and interest. And I've not been disappointed.
Don't want to waste your own time. I'm sure you don't want to. I'm sure you don't want to be left out. You don't want to see us in December showing you the stats and where we are at.
I wish you a successful deliberation and also a profitable 2025. Best of luck.
So join us. Get on the train with us. It's going to be very, very massive in 2025. Trust me, this is not a joke. You see the track record from the HIP. You've seen the track record from what we've done over the years. And this is just the beginning, trust me. We are just scratching the surface. Greater things are coming. Make sure you jump on it. See you on the other side.
Please, a round of applause for... If you have worked in the media space or you have tried to create content, you know how difficult it is for anybody to put a phone in front of them. Look, you think it's easy. Just look. It's not it's difficult to just place a phone in front and curate the words you want to say. Then say it properly. Nobody who is not very passionate about content creation does that for a cause they do not believe. I will tell you, if you can get a Nigerian professor on your side, doesn't matter what that professor is teaching, you have won. Please, a round of applause for all of our testimonials from abroad, in Nigeria, and of course all over the world. One thing was constant and sacrosanct. They kept almost all of them mention a particular name. Can we all recite that name, please? Please, louder. Who is Gbolahan? Is that a question? Don't worry. In the next few minutes, your question will be answered with Jara. All right? I would have said you should ask the person beside you, but don't worry. So I will not be like we're having two different halls here. Let's keep it static. This man is a man that I met in 2017. We both went for a seminar, digital marketing, Facebook. And between then and now, in terms of days, I think I've only seen him 5 times from then till today. But I can tell you that the experience that I have had with him personally and the community that he has built is nothing short of sploofic, for lack of the adjective to use in describing the energy, the talent, the capacity that team, that Gbolahan has built in that team. I can go on and on and on, and the only thing stopping me actually is that if I go on, I'll get emotional, and hard guy cannot cry here. I cried on my birthday, and he was even one of the reasons I see. Don't worry. So let's not go there. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, I would like us to give a rousing round of applause for the CEO of Encrypt Capital, Gbolahan Bolarinwa Kunduz, as he comes forward to give us the meat of the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin, sir? A round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. Are you happy to be here? If you're happy to be here, say hi. Hi. Right, it's going to be a very great day. And I'm going to make this worth your time. I'm so sorry that we had to start a little bit late. We had some technical issues at the beginning, and but we've been able to sort it out now. So we are going to have a great time. All right. My name is Gbolahan. I'm from Ibadan, right? And if you've ever been to Ibadan before, there's a voice that immediately you enter a road, right? You begin to hear some sound, right? And they start saying, "Awo kin ko lolo rely sholi, ma bombi, aboshe, Facebook, ofe, to go, ofe, Yahoo Messenger, ofe." So basically, we are here to do business, right? And we are not here to scam you, run away with your money. You can hear from people that have done business with us over time, right? Now, I got into the forex market about 7-8 years ago. All right, and as you can tell about anybody that has been in the forex market, there is always a challenge that you go through, for a period of time. All right, and I went through my fair share of the challenge. I remember, buying courses, joining signal rooms, investing money. I actually invested my school fees at some point. I could be that crazy, right? In the beginning. Because I knew there are people making money from this thing. And I was ready to do anything to make it to the point of profitability in the forex market, all right? But that did not come until like 4 years later. I was losing and losing and losing. I blew my school fees. I collected my mom's rent. I lost it. I collected my friend's money, lost it. You can hear some of the stories of, the early beginnings and, the things that did not work out, basically. All right? And eventually, we've been able to get this. Is there a problem with this? Eventually, we've been able to get this to a point where it is now working. All right? I remember there was a day I called my mom, sometime in 2019, 2020. I was teary. I just lost like $5,000 in the market. And the only question I could ask her is that, do you really pray for me? I said, do you really pray for me? You can't be praying for me and I'm taking this much beating from the market. All right? I thought people were following me. You could not convince me that they were not. All right? But, over time, there are some wins you have that you can have a win for one day and forget the loss you've had for the last 10 years. All right? You can have a win for one day. Someone said that sometimes it takes a year. It takes a year to cancel out the work that you've done for the past 10 years. All right? It could take you 1 year that changed everything around. For some people, that year is 2025. 2025 is going to be so big. It's going to be so big, so massive. And what we are trying to do in space, I believe, is something that has never been done before. All right? And we started the community, the FX War Room. We started like 3 years ago. Some people are here, some of the people that joined earlier. And, you get the opportunity to hear from them directly what their results and what their story has been like. All right? Because I don't want to do too much of talking today. I want to show you results. All right? I want to show you evidence. No cho. Straight to the point. All right? Do we have it back up now? All right. So this is the hero's journey, right? And I believe that this is one of the best ways to share my story, because I believe every one of us, we are the hero of our own journey, right? So you are the hero of your own journey. I'm the hero of my own journey. And when you start a process, usually you have a call to go on an adventure, either to learn a new skill, to, start a tech business, or, to co-found a company, anything, right? And when you get the call, you could refuse the call. You have the opportunity to say no, that you don't want to live your dream. That's perfectly fine, all right? But for people that want to advance in life, they end up answering their call and, accepting the challenge of their journey. Then you find a mentor, you start looking for ways and all. And what happens after you answer the call? It's like you should not have answered the call. It's goes from left, right, and center. You keep losing. You have to lose before you can win, right? I had my fair share of losses, jumping from one strategy to another, blowing money. I was telling a friend that if you had met me in 2019, 2020, there was no money I could not lose. In expectation, you have a small amount of money, right? And you're expecting that you could take this money to the market, right? To multiply it. But you end up losing the money that you even have. There's this Yoruba adage that says, "Oh, shabo balek baby." There was a time I told my roommates in Ibadan that I don't want to hear anything forex in this house again. If you mention anything forex, I will break your head. I've taken so much losses, and this was that point whereby I didn't have enough energy anymore. But I just needed to rest a bit. Then Nobody had to force me to go back. Forex is like an addiction. It's like people taking drug. You can't quit. You just find that you cannot quit. You always find your way back into it, right? Then after a while, you start seeing some level of results. Then, after you get results, what do? You go back to show other people. See, I don't have to do this conference right now. We don't have to do this. All right? We are doing this because we want to show other people that want to go on their own journey as well, and show them the best possible route to follow. And so to go through that route in the shortest possible amount of time. You heard that one of the people in the community was saying that he's only joined maybe like 4 months ago. Mr. Akin, when did you join us? Like 4 or 5 months ago, right? September. That was like 5 months ago. And he's already making money. Yesterday, he sent me his trading profits from our NFP trade. He made that one maybe $150 or so. I'm happy when people are making money in our community, right? Because I know what it feels like to want to get something right and not have the opportunity to get it right. All right? And would be generous enough to show you exactly what we are doing. Right? If you are ready to make more money than you are making right now, please let me see your hand up. If you know that you should be making more money than you are making right now, please let me see your hand up. All right, good. Now, one of the things that my team and I, one of the things we were discussing before we, put all of this together is I want to solve a problem. One of the guys that was talking in the videos we played earlier, he said that you have to solve problem for people, right? For you to be able to make money. Who agrees with me? If you agree with me, say aye. Good. You have to solve problem for people in order to make money. If you are not solving problem for people, then you can't make money. You can't make money legitimately. You can make money, but not legitimately. But for you to make money legitimately, you have to offer value. All right? And one of the values that we're thinking of offering is a money value. Number one, I realize that every single person have a money problem. And when I say money problem, it means that every single person, either you have $1, or you have $1 million, or you have $10 million, or you have 100,000 naira, there is something that you are looking for. What's that? You want to make more money, but you don't want to lose what you have. You want multiplication, but you don't want to lose your capital. Do you all agree with me? Good. Now, we are trying to solve this problem and basically find a solution to the fact that, okay, you can make money, you can increase your capital, you can, get financial benefit from the market without having to lose what you already have. All right? Now, there is an easy way to the financial market and there's a hard way. All right? There's an easy way to the financial market and there's a hard way. And the fact that something is hard does not mean you should not go through that route, right? And the fact that something is easy, it doesn't mean you should go through that route. Even the Bible says, narrow is the way, right? That leads to destruction. That leads to everlasting life, sorry. But broad is the way that leads to destruction, right? But now, the hard way of the Forex market, I'm going to quickly just run through it. Strategy that we have and how you can basically benefit, from that. Now, this is, I believe, the hard way for the people that have the time to do the trading. You will hear from Mr. Akin at the end of this call, and one of the videos he recorded for us when we had the meeting in Ibadan, he said the first time he came to the market to trade with us, he was shivering. He said his body was shaking. That the wife was asking, "What is wrong, sir?" That because the market is very volatile, and it's not everybody that can do that. If you are hypertensive, I don't even advise you to come to the market. Let people handle the money for you. All right? Now, there's a strategy called HIP. We were able to discover this strategy around September last year. And I'll just quickly run you through what the strategy is about. All right? The strategy is called HIP, High Impact Period. Now, there are time zones in the market. For example, what's the time in Nigeria right now? Anybody? 3:41. Is it the same time in the US? What's the time in the US right now? Depending on the part of US that you're in. What's the time in New York right now? Maybe 6 hours behind us. right? Now, but the same, I think London, 1 hour difference, right? But in Asia, New Zealand, the time gap is very, very crazy. On New Year Day, Australians have done their own, Happy New Year. Like it was 6 or 8 hours later that we are just doing our own in Nigeria, right? So there's time differences. And that difference is where the money is for us, right? Now, if you look at this chart, there's something we call market hours, right? You can see Asia, right? What can you see here? London. You can see what? New York. You can see Asia plus London and London plus New York. So London means this is when the people in London, this is when they are active. This is when they are active in the market. This is when they are going. You remember that we are using like time for banks, right? We are using times for banks. So if you work in a bank in London, for example, there is a resumption time. There's a time they are expecting you to resume to your primary place of duty, right? Now, that should be somewhere around 8 a.m. in the morning, right? If you are in Asia, even though it's still 8 a.m. in Asia, but our own time here is what time? 1 in the midnight, all right? By the time New York people are resuming to work, it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon in Nigeria. Then there is what we call overlap, time zone overlap. Now, there are traders that trade some of these time zones singularly. But what we are doing is to come into the market at the peak volatile time every day. From research, we're able to figure out that 80% of the movements in the market every single day happens within a 4-hour period. 80% of the movements in the market every single day happens when? Within a 4-hour period. In fact, let me bust your brain. In a single year, there is a 2-week period when most of the volume in that year happens. If you miss out on those 2 weeks, you get mediocre result at the end of the year. For example, gold did how many percent last year? 31%. And there was a 2-week period when it did almost 20%. That's how many percent? Or 20% out of 30% is what? That's like 70, 60 something percent out of the whole movement in the year. All right? So it is wisdom to know when the market is moving. It's not just enough to know how to trade. Remember, how you make money is not just by buying and selling. You need to buy at the right time and sell at the right time. Am I correct? You need to be able to go in at the right time and come out at the right time. And there are metrics that we are basically using to figure out when the volatile time will be. Now, one of the metrics is to trade at peak volatile time every day, which is like overlap of London and New York. Which country is the richest country in the world? Anybody? Obviously. Which country is the richest country in the world? United States of America. That's where the biggest volume is coming from every single day. All the billionaires in the world, 70-80% of them are from the US. All right? So that's where the big money is coming from. Now, if you combine US riches and activity, if you combine it with London people's activity, what do you get? You get volatility. And that volatility is where the money is. All right? Volatility just means that something is going up and down, up and down, up and down. For example, when Tinubu just came in, Naira versus dollar was volatile, right? He went from like 1,800, he went all the way to like 800. Then he came back to like 1.5. So that's volatility. So if I'm trading in that market, that's how I make money. You make money when things are moving. When things are not moving, like bank holidays, you don't get to make as much money on those days. But when there is activity, for example, yesterday there was NFP, right? Non-farm payroll. They were releasing like data for their employment industry, you know, the people that they've employed for the period of January, right? And you can see that market was moving. Gold actually went to all-time high yesterday as a result of the NFP, right? Now, we said that the 80% of the movement in the market happens within how many hours? 4 hours every day. All right? So we know already, based on this data, that I don't need to bother about the remaining 20 hours. Are we all together? I don't need to bother myself about the remaining 20 hours. What do I have to do? Just come to the market when there is volatility. That's wisdom, man. Instead of coming to waste my time for 24 hours. As a matter of fact, someone reached out to me one day. He said, I'm never on chat. That am I actually really a trader? That the typical trading lifestyle is that you are on your seat 24/7, you are drawing charts, doing all those jargons. Bro, activity is not productivity. Do we all agree? Activity, that you are active, you are busy. It doesn't mean you make any money. In fact, the busiest person in your office is the poorest most times. If you work in corporate organization, you will see that the busiest people, the gatesmen, running up and down, running on errands, they are the poorest. They are earning the least. But your guy that's just sitting in AC, thinking with his brain, he might spend 5 minutes in the office, but he has done someone else's productivity for 10 years. There was a day that we took an NFP trade. Within 10 seconds, bro, I closed out 5K in 10 seconds. That day, I sat down and I had a conversation with myself. What have I been doing all my life? 5 seconds. Do you know how crazy that is? That someone can. Do you know what $5,000 is? Please, someone should help me do the math. $5,000 times today's exchange rate. In 5 seconds. So I'm saying that to make you understand that productivity and activity, they are two different things entirely. And we've been able to find a way to be productive in the market. You don't have to sit down with chat all day long. You can have your job, do your job, be excellent at what you do. But you can still have this one on the side and it's giving you constant money. Do you understand? And you are not doing any of these things yourself. We are taking you by hand and we are taking you on the journey. All right? We are showing you exactly what we are doing and we are not leaving you hanging. We are doing it alongside you. So even if you get it wrong in the beginning, you only have to be patient with yourself. All right? You will definitely get it right. All right, let's move. Now, there's something we call the risk to reward. Risk to reward is one of the things that you should pay attention to when you are coming into the market. It basically means that what are you trying to risk for the things you are trying to gain, right? Now, if you are trying to gain $1,000, let's say you want to make $1,000, the first question I would ask you is, what are you willing to risk? The market can pay you $1,000. Yes or no? This is a $5 trillion market every day. The amount of volume being traded every day is over $5 trillion. So making $1,000 is not a problem. In fact, you can make $1,000 every second in the market. The market can pay you that much, right? Now, it's not a problem that you want to make $100,000 this year. The market can pay you that much. It's not a problem that you would love to make $1 million this year. The market can pay you that much. But what are you willing to risk? The risk and reward is like two sides of a coin. If someone is telling you to come and invest money somewhere, and they are telling you that there's no risk, off your shoes and run. Because there is risk involved in life. There was a movie I was watching one time, Gentlemen. What's in the movie on Netflix? There was a quote that the guy said. He said, non sine periculo. It basically means that there is no success without risk. There is no level of success anywhere in the world, in any cadre of work, without risk. There has to be risk involved. And why most people stay on the same spot is because they are afraid to take risk. You have to be willing to take risk. If you don't take risk, how do you want to move forward? There's no way. Do you want to jump? You can't do it, all right? Now, as far as the forex market is concerned, there's something called asymmetric risk. Now, the fact that I'm telling you to take risk doesn't mean you should go and take stupid risk, or you should not calculate the risk that you are taking. No, your risk should be calculated. It should be well measured. As a matter of fact, there's no day I go into the market that I don't know how much I'm risking for that day. I know how much I'm going to risk. So when I lose it, I'm not surprised, because I know how much I'm, putting down for the reward that I'm trying to make, right? Now, for this particular strategy that we are using, for every $1 risk that you are putting into the market, you are getting a bigger reward. That makes sense, right? Because an average merchant, if you go to the market, let's say you are selling this mic, and you bought this mic for $100, how much would you be willing to sell it? Anybody? If you, like how much? Maybe 200, right? So in this sense now, you bought this mic for $100, that's your risk. But the selling price is how much? He said 200, he recommended 200. That's like 100% profit margin, right? So that's the reward. Do you understand? Now, for every amount of money that we are risking in this market, we are getting a bigger reward in return. And if you do this over and over and over and over 100 trades, 1,000 trades, the results will be surprising. Are you all with me? Now, with this risk to reward ratio, you can make all the money you want in the market, even if you are only winning 50% of the time. I will explain what I mean. So, you know, when we hear 50-50, what comes to our mind? Anybody? The moment you hear 50-50, what comes to your mind? Gambling, right? It means this thing is gambling. But I want to prove to you that you can have a 50-50 chance and make a fortune. You can have a 50-50 chance and make a fortune. I can take 10 trades and I lose 5 out of 10. And I still make more money from that transaction. Let's do the math together. Now, everybody bring out your phone or your calculator or anything. Let's say that we have $5,000 that we are doing business with, right? $5,000, and we are risking 1%, or let's say we are risking 5% of $5,000. What's 5% of $5,000? $250, right? Now, for every 5% that we are risking, we want to get 7.5 back, which is not far-fetched. If you all know the kind of markets you are playing, is not far-fetched at all. All right, so we are risking 5% to get 7.5 back. 5% is what? 250. Good. After taking 100 trades, we lost 50 out of 100. We've lost 50. We are saying 50-50 now. So we've lost 50 out of 100 trades. How much have we lost in total? That's 250 times 50. How much? 12,500. Please, someone help me write that down. 12,500. That's how much loss we've encountered in the market, and that's the cost of doing business. Now, remember that we're also winning 50% of the trade, but every time we win, we are winning $375, right? Now, let's do the math. $375 times 50. What do we have? 18,000 minus the first result. How much? $6,250. So can you see that you can have 50-50 profit margin or 50-50 win rate? You are losing 50% of the time, but you are still making $5,000 at the end of every 100 trade. Who loves what I just said? Who understand what the math you just did now? If you understand, say aye. If you don't understand, say aye. Okay, you don't understand. Should we go ahead? Should we go again? All right, we are saying that you can lose 50% of the time and still make a fortune. All right? And I'm saying that if you have $5,000 capital to work with and you are losing 50% of the time, it means if you try something twice, you win once and you lose once. Am I correct? It means if you try something 10 times, you lose how many times? 5 out of 10. That's 50%. Okay. Now, you are if you've done something for 10 times, you've lost 5 times, right? If you've done it for 100 times, how many wins, how many loss? 15 win, 50 loss. But remember that I said that whenever we are winning 7.5. But whenever we are losing, how much are we losing? 5%. Now we said 5%. 5% of $5,000 is what? $250. So it means every time you are losing $250. Do we understand that? And every time you are winning how much? 375. Now, 375 times 50 is what? 18,750. And from the losing side, you've lost 50% of the trade as well, which is 50 trades. Times 250 is what? So how much do we have left? Do we all understand now? Good. Now, but one thing with this strategy is that the win rate is not even where the big money is. It's in the compounding over time. It's in the compound interest. You could be making that $5,000 with $5,000 capital. You could be making at least another $5,000 capital. That's 100% ROI within a year. No bank in the world. I have my insurance guy here. I have some institutional guys in the meeting as well. No bank, no insurance company is going to pay you 100% in 1 year. All right, and this is obtainable with this model that we are presenting to you. All right. Now, with the mathematics I just explained to you now, in a month, give or take, you can be doing between 10% to 15% based on the number of trades that we take on a monthly basis. You could be doing as much as 20%. There are months when we did far beyond 20%. You know, we've had a 27%, 25% month, and there were months when we didn't do as much, because you can't really time when the losses and wins will come. You can't program it. So that's why you have to take your risk management very well. You don't know I don't know if my next 2 trades will be losing trades or winning trade. But if I know that if I take the next 100 trades, I'll definitely win 60 to 70 out of them. So our win rate right now is about 66%. You know, I'm going to show you all of that. Now, with 20% interest every month, 20% interest every month, which is very, very obtainable, all right? Which is very, very obtainable. With 20% interest every month, if you have a capital of $1,000, just $1,000, and you decide to compound it over a period of 26 months, you are getting over $114,000, over $100,000 in return, with 20% average, all right, every month. Now, this could be, let's not assume that you are not able to achieve 100K. If you start with 1K, and by the end of year 2, you are at 50K, is that success or failure? You've not failed woefully. 50,000, 1,000 to 50,000, that's a lot of money. That's still a lot of money. So, okay, let's even say that in 2 years, after investing 1,000, you were only able to make 20K. Is that success or failure? It's massive success. Massive success, all right? Now, there is something called the diminishing return of compound interest, and I'm going to quickly break that down to you. And what the diminishing return of compound interest is, it means that for every amount of money you make, it reduces how much more you need to make to hit your targets. So we are saying that we want to do 100x of our money, right? Based on this trading model. Now, 100x is like times 100. If you say it to anybody, they think you are crazy. That 100x is too big. Is that even possible? Is that obtainable? That's what people usually say. But I'm going to prove to you that this thing is very, very possible. You only need to understand compound interest. All right? Now, when you are starting out, remember you are starting with 1,000. It's just for example. It doesn't mean that you have to start with 1,000. There are people that started with 5K. There are people that started with 10K. The meeting we had in Ibadan, one of the audience invested 47,000 on the spot. He didn't have to go home and come back. All right? Because he understood how risk works. Rich people understand how risk, they understand how it works. You see, it's the people that have not eaten, that when you tell them about investment opportunity, they say, $1,000. Do you know how much that is? $1,000. Do you understand? Success is not something you can do without risk. Risk is always involved. When you left your house today, did you take risk or not? You did. 1,000,001 thing might have happened between your house and this place, but you still decided to take the chance. One of the books that I read earlier on in my life that completely changed my paradigm. I read the book as a 17-year-old. I remember there was a book by Ben Carson, Take a Risk. So Ben Carson is like this doctor that does neurosurgery and all that. One of the things he said in the book, he said there is a percentage. Yeah? No, take a risk. Take a risk is the title of the book. He said there is a percentage for someone being in his house and slopping to death and the percentage is something like 0.00001. So it means that like 120 people every single year, they don't have to leave their house to die. Do you understand? So the moment you even wake up from the morning like this, you are taking a risk. All right? You are taking a risk. And the sleep that you even slept, it is a risk. Because there are people that went to bed last night and they didn't wake up this morning. All right? So life and risk is like two sides of a coin. You can't do without risk. All right? Now, I was saying that diminishing return of compound interest. It means by the time that we get from 1,000 to 2,000, how many x is it from 2,000 to 100,000? How many x? 50x. Do you understand? It means you've only done 100%, but the percentage you have to hit your target has been slashed into 2. So for every 100% that you do, the percentage gets slashed into 2. If that's not crazy, I don't know what can be crazy. All right? The percentage that you have to get to, remember we have a 100x target within 2 years, right? But for every 100% that we do in the market, for every 100% return that we get from the market, it slashes the target by 2. So from 100x, something is getting reduced to 50x simply by a mere 100%. 100% profit. So by the time you go from 2,000 to 4,000, what your target is now what? 25x. By the time you go from 4,000 to 8,000, your target is now what? 12.5. By the time you go from 8,000 to 16,000, your target is now 6.2. By the time you go from 16,000 to 32,000, your target is now 3x. You've only done multiple. So money is like a numbers game. If you understand numbers very well, you find it very easy to make money. All right? Now, let's move ahead. Now, there are 7. We've been able to break this down into 7 steps. Like the 100x, we've been able to break it down into 7 steps. So the first step is to go from what to what? 1,000 to 2,000, which we've already done. All right? We were able to smash the first 100% on, what day was that? I think January 2nd. We had the Ibadan event on 4th. So like 2 days to Ibadan event. We smashed our first 100%. And we launched this portfolio on 15th of August. So it means it took 4 months, less than 4 months, to do our first 100%. You know, there's this thing they say about past performance does not guarantee future results. You know that thing is not true. Do you all agree that thing is not true? I'll prove it to you. Now, who is married here? If you are married, let me see your hand. Good. Now, you know there is a level of accuracy that you can have. The way your wife behaves when she wakes up every morning. Because if you've been married for like, let's say 5 years, 2 years, I've been married for maybe like a few months, right? And to some level of mathematical accuracy, I can predict my wife. Okay, let me give you a simple example. There was a day that one of my guys came to Lagos and he bought a particular rice. The moment I tasted that rice, I knew the person that cooked it. Is that not past performance that's guaranteeing future results? Past performance guarantees future result every day. For the business owner here, if you want to employ someone to your company, why do you ask them for CV? Because you ask for their CV to know 2 things: where they have been and what they have done. Right? Where they have been and what they have done. If they've not been anywhere, they've not done anything, but they are promising you that I can do this work, you just have to trust me. Trust me, bro, I can do it. Would you give them the job? You will not dare it. They will ruin your company. Right? So you have to trust their past performance, right, to give them the responsibility for your future result in that company. So do we all agree now that to some level, at least 99%, past performance guarantees future results? Yes or no? Right? So it means that what we're able to achieve in 4 months, if you give me another 4 months, I should be able to replicate the same results. Give or take. This is they say in economics, ceteris paribus. Other things being equal. Right? Given the same market condition, I should be able to replicate the same results. All right? Now, it means that we've been able to do the round 1. All right? And between now and April, May this year, we should be done with round 2. And by May to around August, September, we should be done with round 3. Right? So round 1 is on 1,000 to 2,000. Round 2 is 2,000 to 4,000. Round 3 is 4,000 to 8K. Round 4 is 8,000 to 16K. Round 5 is 16K to 32K. Right? Round 6 is 32K to 64K. Round 7 is 64K to 128K. Now let me bust your head. The hardest round out of all of this is which one? Round 1. Round 1 is the hardest because you are still testing things out. You are still testing models. What we are doing now, we are not figuring anything out anymore. We are just repeating what we've done. It's just repetition. Someone said repetition is the mother of all success. I agree. You just have to, for you to be super efficient and effective and super rich in this world, one of the things you have to pay attention to is the act of repeating things. Why would I change something when it's already working? You have no reason to change it. Just repeat. You can optimize. There was this school lecturing event that I went to last year, and I asked him a question. I said, there's this quote that people say that, when a wheel is not 40, don't fix it, right? And I asked him that, is that actually really true? One of the things he said is that you should not reinvent the wheel, but you should audit it. He said you should audit it like crazy. When a wheel is not 40, yes, don't fix it, but audit it not just for the purpose of fixing, audit it for the purpose of improving. Do you understand? So as far as the trading is concerned, now we are not changing anything. We are only auditing from time to time. All right? And we are seeing, okay, what can we change? What can we add? So that to make the experience more enjoyable and to give us more profit. That's basically what we are doing. But 90% of our activity on a daily basis is just repetition. Now, and I can show you how to do all of these things by yourself. All right? I can show you how to do it. What we are doing, we have a community of people that are already making money, doing well for themselves financially by the grace of God. All right? But you can also, okay, let me not go there yet. Now, last year, this was 2024. These were the biggest asset class in the world. The big asset class with the biggest returns. The likes of Nvidia, MicroStrategy, Gold, Apple, and the likes of them. Now, one of the things that smart investors in the world, one of the things they look out for is not just return. All right? Smart investors, intelligent investors don't just look out for return. One thing they also look out for is what? What we call return to drawdown ratio. Return to drawdown ratio. For people that are very, very, conversant with the financial market, this is something, when someone is you are trying to invest in someone, you should figure out what to drawdown ratio. What do I mean by that? It means for the return that you are able to get for a period of time, what is the maximum drawdown within that period? Now, maximum drawdown means that how much loss, what was the maximum loss that happened in the accounts or the portfolio within that period of time. Now, for Nvidia, even though Nvidia did 185% last year, but it had a drawdown of 35%. It means for a period of time, if you put 100,000 in Nvidia, you would have lost 35,000 out of that 100K. All right? Nvidia is very, very volatile. All right? Another asset class that did very well last year was MicroStrategy. It did 417%. And the maximum drawdown was how much? 41.6%. All right? And the return to drawdown ratio is what? 10. Even though the drawdown here is big, but the return paid for it. Do you understand? The return was substantial enough to cover up for the drawdown. Do we all understand what I'm saying? Now, so this is S&P 500. It did 27% last year, and the maximum drawdown was 9%, 9.5. All right? Now, our two strategies, we more or less I measured it against we are not competing with Nigerian people. We are competing globally. All right? Now, if I'm going to say that you should trust me with a certain amount of money, I should be able to why should you invest in me, not Nvidia? Do you understand me? if we can't compete the best of the best, then don't trust us. That's what we are saying. Do you understand? Now, with NVIDIA, last year now, MicroStrategy was the highest in terms of this metric. They had 10.01%. NVIDIA had, now there's something very important that I want you to pay attention to here. We have two portfolios last year. One is the HIN portfolio for the investors, the HIN consortium, and the other one is the HIP model. Now, for the HIN portfolio, we did 46% last year. All right? That's not extraordinary in the real sense. But what is the drawdown for that amount of money that we made? The drawdown was just 8% throughout last year. It means at any point in time, we were only down about 8%, but eventually we ended up with how much? 46.42%. The other portfolio that we had, which is what we are talking about here today, is the HIP portfolio, which we are doing like 100x challenge currently, right? Now, we did 89% last year. I remember I said we launched this when? August 15th. So it wasn't a full year. All right? It wasn't like we traded from January to December. It was between August 15th and December 31st. And we did how many percent? 89% last year. And the maximum drawdown was what? 14.88%. Please put your hands together for us. And bro, we are excellent at what we do, and I'm very proud to say that we are excellent at what we do, right? And you get to find out why I'm saying all of this. Now look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin also did very well last year. It did 125%, but the drawdown was how much? 33%, which makes the drawdown to return to drawdown ratio just 3.7. So in terms of this list now, we were number 6, number 2. Right? This is number 1. This is number 2. Our HIP strategy is the number 2. Right? Then our HIN strategy is what? The number 3. This is the number 4. So we are competing with the best of the best. We are competing with the best of the best. All right? Now, I was saying that, you know, there are people that they don't really mind about all of these figures that we are sharing here. They just want to make money. All right? They don't care. They don't want to know, okay, what is risk to reward? They don't care to know. They are busy enough with their life already. Don't put more problem in people's head, right? So there are certain type of people that they don't want to learn anything. All right? They don't want to go through the hard way. We've already done all the work. There is to be done. All right? Now, there's a copy trading account that you can join, all right, whereby our trade is automatically duplicated across the board, right? And whatever we do on our account, it duplicates on your own account as well. I want to assume that everybody here, you all look like professionals. It looks like you all are busy enough in your life and all that. And one of the things you can do is to copy us, and you'll be able to get the same amount of results that we are getting, right? There is technological infrastructure. You get to hear from the brokerage partner, from our brokerage partner. You know, they are the one providing the technological infrastructure and everything like that. All right? Now, this was the, last year's results, 62 trades, 66% win rate, and, so this is what's obtainable, basically. We have 66% win rate. It means, remember I was saying something about 50% win rate earlier, that you can have a 50% win rate, and you are still making a whole lot of money every year. Because give or take, with this strategy, in 1 year, you should be able to take 100 trades. Give or take. In a month, we take like 10 to 11 trades. So in a year, we should be able to take 100 trades, right? And if we are going by that, and we have a 66% win rate, all right? It means out of every 100 trades, we've won how many? 66. We've won 66 out of 100. Now, let's assume that someone has a capital of $1,000. Please, I need you to do one math for me right now. Very, very important. So based on this figure that we have, let's assume that someone has a capital of $1,000, right? And you have 66 win. Every time you are winning, remember we are risking how many percent? 5%, right? Are we all together? We are risking 5%, right? To get how much? 7.5. Now, what is the 5% of $1,000? $50. What's 7.5% of $1,000? 75. Now, 75 trades times 66 win. That's how much? 75 times 66 win. That's how much? 4,950. That's the profit that you would have made on a $1,000 account within a year time frame. Right? Now, how many loss have we had? 66 minus 100 is what? 34. Now, 34 times 50 is what? 1,700. So, if you remove 1,700 from 4,950, that's how much? That's how many X? 3X in 1 year. In 1 year. This is what's obtainable. And you can see that we did not, this is a live screenshot from our main account, right? And this is what is obtainable. So you don't have to necessarily be a trader. You don't have to learn anything. You can just plug in your account to our account, and whatever is going on our account is also going on your account. And there's also something that I want you to understand. You know, there are people that you give money and what they are trading is their money. That's not happening here. We are trading our own money. Do you understand? And the way this is structured is just that it's like we are the master and you are like following, right? It's like a mirror, right? So whatever is going on our account, it gets replicated on your account. In the real sense, either you copy us or not, we'll still make our money anyways. Do you understand? We'll still make our money. But we also want to give you the opportunity to follow and see exactly how money can be made. It is one of the simplest thing and the easiest thing you can do in today's world to make money. It's so easy to make money. I can't believe it. All right? I cannot believe it because this thing is simple. What we are doing is not rocket science. And we've been able to break it down to the point that a 70-year-old man can do it. And someone as young as 18, 17-year-old can do it. And you actually get to hear from the oldest person from our community and the youngest person from our community shortly. All right? Now, why should you join the copy trading? Why should you join us? Number one is shared risk, shared reward. The fact that you are not the only one putting your money down. Our own money too is involved. If we lose together. If we win together. All right? Loves that. The fact that if we win together. If we lose together. They said that you should follow who no road. But another person say, hold your transport too. Hold your transport. All right? So you are following the person that knows the road, and we are in this together at every point in time, every step of the way. All right? Now we have 66% win rate, which is very, very commendable. You don't need more than 50% to make all the money you want in this market. But we have 66% win rate. There's monthly profit sharing, which is like 70-30. It means you are getting 70%. You are the owner of the money, so you deserve to take 70% of the reward. All right, and we are just getting 30% for doing all the work for you. All right, another thing is that you have total control of withdrawal and deposit. You can add more money anytime you want. You can take out more money anytime you want. You are in total control. Yeah, I've spoken about the 70-30 profit sharing. There's flexible capital rescue level. You see, one of the things that's very important is this capital rescue level. It means that you can set top up level for your account. For example, the fact that you are investing $10,000 does not mean it's all that $10,000 that we are taking to the market. Do you understand? There can be a stopper level on the account. You could be that you are just convenient with risking 50% of that amount. All right? So if peradventure at any point in time the account goes down to 50% of what you invested, what will happen? They will cut you out automatically. That's the technology. So it's like an insurance. So 50% of your money can be insured. It depends on you. We recommend like 30% at the moment. All right? Because as you are moving forward, would be increasing we'll be increasing the stopper level. So that way we are securing what? Securing the bag. Are we all following? That way we are securing the bag gradually and gradually. And this is one of my most favorite. The fact that what we are risking is so little, but we are getting more reward for every amount of money that we are risking. All right? Last but not the least, The brokerages that we are working with, they are heavily regulated. I would call the MC of the event, to show us the way forward. Thank you very much for listening to me. My name is Gbolahan. Thank you.
Keep it. Ladies and gentlemen, that round of applause was really small. Please give him a proper round of applause. At some point I had to come and meet Gbolahan to tell him to use the mic well, because the energy he was using alone, I was like, this guy can run out of breath any second now, no? And guess what? That energy he started with, he has ended with. That tells you the story of the individual whom we just listened to, of passion, of zeal, of desire to impact and change change the environment and change the community of people he's having around him. Please, once more, a round of applause for him. All right. In a few, but probably before I bring up our next speaker, I would like to ask one or two people what we really got from all that he said. Anybody? Preferably somebody who is meeting Gbolahan for the first time. Preferably somebody I know one or two people who are meeting Gbolahan for the first time. Preferably somebody who's meeting for the first time. Just one thing you learned that was new, one thing you didn't know about this investing, about forex, about financial, about basically the financial space. Just one new thing you learned from everything he said. Those at the back, usually when you're in class and a question is asked, you have to raise your hand up. You raise your hand so that when the person who raises his hand in front, they will not think that you don't know it. This one, even front, but Daddy, I'll start with you, sir. I'll give you the mic. Just one thing you got from him. I know you're not new. I say preferably doesn't mean yes. Thank you, sir.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Mr. Yekini Wasim. As said by Gbolahan earlier, I joined this group about 4 to 5 months ago, and I'm thanking God because where I started it's not where I am now. So what I've just learned today from this is, okay, let me just say that I am somebody that does not believe anything is not possible, and that has been my motto. My motto is never say die. So I want to know anything, and I believe I can know anything, I can know everything, and with Gbolahan on my side, so I believe I will do it, and I'm doing it. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for him. Because when Gbolahan and God work together, anything is possible. So I would like to ask you just one thing you picked from everything that Gbolahan said.
Okay, something that struck me was the fact that it looks like there's a high level of expertise and a high level of research that has gone into the whole thing. So gives us some level of confidence that we can go ahead with what we want to do today.
Are you meeting him for the first time? Please, a round of applause for him. If from one conversation you can tell this, of course it's actually very glaring. It's not something, and believe me, he could have gone on for another 45, 1 hour just discussing this. I would like to ask someone that I know. Okay, Cyprian, now God save you. Now you are the one pick.
Good day, everybody. My name is Kolawole. I'm very happy that I'm here today because for some years I've been into forex trading and I've lost heavily. I'm talking in terms of millions. I'm not talking of 20, I'm not talking of 50 million. I'm telling you, not directly, but my own son was involved, and when it happens, something blew and it went so tough. But because one of the people here knows me very well and he's been involved because he knows everything, he invited me. There's something I gained here. That's just by the way anyway. There's something I gain here. I don't know that Forex is so simple like this. I don't know it's so simple. I saw just, I believe I can still put in, by the grace of God, even millions, so that I can be able to get at least part of what I've lost, because by the time we calculate everything, this is about 99M that was lost in the, and we couldn't get anything back. But I am very sure and that something will be done as I will plug in by the grace of God.
Please, a round of applause for Mr. Kolawole. A round of applause for him, please. I know that all of us have lost money. Daddy, please, I'm coming to you. You want to say something?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Already I'm sold, like right from time. When I met Mr. Gbolahan, it was a very peculiar situation too. But what I like that I heard today was the presence of structure, repetition. I've been somebody that it has affected me for a long time. So slowly, when I met him, he exposed me to understanding the simplicity in things. And I like that he's translating that into this initiative, and just hope that we all get to the finish line. Thank you.
Sorry, I was please, a round of applause for him. I was multitasking. When Mr. Kolawole mentioned how much he had lost, I am like, is this not everybody's story? If this industry never show you something, your eye no go clear, you know. If you know why it's for Forex, you know feel why it's for anywhere else. I'm really grateful first for Friends Association and then finding ourselves here. I'm sure that if I give this mic to everybody, all of us will have something to say. But, you know, I would like us to come a bit in-house. Don't worry, I will call you. I will call you. You want to talk? I will call you. I will call you. I would like us to come a bit in-house, because in trading Forex, you are dealing with different levels of people. There are people who are managing your accounts. There are brokers. There are trades. There is a lot of technicality involved. And over time, we've worked with various people. I would like to, at this point, invite to take the mic and speak to us about his experience working with the team. In a few minutes, Mr. David Alagbada, am I correct? The commercial director at CapitalxTend Africa. Please, a round of applause for him.
Wow. Could you give a round of applause to the organizers? Gbolahan, you outdid yourself on this one. Please, a round of applause for Gbolahan and the Encrypt Capital team. My name is David Alagbada. I'm the commercial director for Africa at CapitalxTend. And CapitalxTend is one of the partnering brokers of Encrypt Capital. When Gbolahan called me to speak, I should also let you know that I'm a little bit of an industry critic, a very not nice one, irrespective of what business consequence that might have. Because what we've seen over the years is a significant degradation of values in the FX space, especially in Nigeria. So for me, I play in the FX space globally. So as director for Africa, I'm typically mingling with our colleagues in other parts of the world. For instance, I was the only African who was invited to speak at the Dubai Forex Expo. Please give me a round of applause. I think I deserve that, right? And by the way, if you know the Dubai Forex Expo, that is the Mecca. That's where you find all the liquidity providers, all the biggest traders in the world, all of, it's just this huge Mecca for our industry. So a lot of times when I speak, and I'm kind of critical about what we do here, it is because we have failed a lot of times in the grapple for quick money to do stuff like what Gbolahan is doing now. Please give him a round of applause for what he's doing. I wanted to talk about how the best traders
And by the way, just a little bit on the experience side, I have been head of partnerships in Africa for FXTM, you know, the company. I was regional head of Africa for M4 Markets. I am commercial director for Africa CapitalxTend. So 13 years experience in the industry in various positions institutionally. I think I deserve a round of applause, right? Now let us talk a little bit about what that experience has taught me. What has 13 years experience in brokerages? By the way, let me explain to you what brokerages are. You can't access the financial market without a broker. You know that, right? So these are the companies that hold your account. I'll tell you one thing. You know, a lot of times you don't get to talk to them like this, but I'll open up a few things for you. They know the good traders. They know the bad ones. You know why? Because we see everybody's account. Do you understand? That is to say, I'll give you an example. CapitalxTend globally has about 750,000 clients. This company behind me. Give the company a round of applause. Within Africa, it's a growing concern, right? We've got almost 15,000 clients across the continent. Now, we're talking Nigeria, Ghana, Africa, and multiple other places. When I say client, I mean account. What do they want to do with the trading accounts? They want to trade. So they deposit money with the intention of trading. So you're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. I want to tell you a few things about how. I'm going to speak for the next 5 minutes or 10 maximum about how I haven't seen tens of thousands of accounts over a 13-year career. What I have noticed about how the best traders and portfolio managers achieve consistency, some of which you're already seeing today. And I'm not talking locally alone, I mean globally. Are you with me? Now listen to this point because these are important. I may never say it again. And I mean it. Because there's this thing where companies were kind of like the ones who see everything, we say nothing. Do you understand? And it's very, in fact, I'm a little bit of a rebel in the industry these days, even if on my WhatsApp statuses, kind of getting critical. I saw something. You know, I have a little bit of a bromance with Gbolahan because, you know, I see somebody who's really going very far within this. I congratulate you on the ENCRYPT Capital team, and I'm looking forward to your success locally and internationally. I really like the fact that, by the way, I wasn't expecting what I saw. To be honest, I was not expecting what I saw. Your comparisons with MicroStrategy, these are the biggest funds in the world. And I always like to tell people in Africa, you need to understand when we come here and we want to do this, and we're doing this here in Lagos, Nigeria, in Africa, that this industry was not made with you in mind. This is a very important thing to say, especially for the doubters and for those people. This entire ecosystem, the global financial market, was not created for us in mind. They don't care about Africa. It just so happens that now, well, there are no barriers. They can't stop us. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can't stop us. The New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, the Tokyo, all of those guys, they created this ecosystem for wealth, for themselves. But you know what? You can be part of it thanks to technology. All right, so I'll talk a little bit going straight. The whole idea of this thing is to capture financial market opportunity. So you have all these assets moving, value being exchanged, whether it's a cryptocurrency or global stocks or you name it, indices, prices are changing. Are you getting what I'm saying? Then the financial market now exists for money to play the game. Play the game with an object of doing what? Making money. To be able to play that game effectively, they need to understand, the people who come in here, they need to understand at a global level, this is how they look at it. Number one, price. Getting into the asset at the right time. Gbolahan spoke a lot about that. He spoke about, did you notice when he was talking about that? Did you notice when he was talking about entry at the right time, price, at the right volume? This gave and supply. So I usually like to give a simple example, which is very relatable for us in Africa, which is about palm oil trading. How many of you have ever dealt in palm oil trading? Do you know there's a certain time in the year where palm oil tends to be cheaper? You can buy it and stock it. It's the same thing. Now you have global assets, you have gold. Well, I spoke about gold, right? Hitting its all-time highest, its all-time high, right? After the NFP, right? So there's the best people in this game understand the first one. Hold on a second. There's rigor of research and testing. It is not a child's game. Rigor of what? Research and testing in order to find out what? Right price. In the markets, they call it strategy. But strategy is so casual right now, wherein if you go on YouTube now, you see like 1,000 of them. But then you need to understand the incentives of why people put strategies on YouTube to get click views and whatnot and make money from YouTube content creation. Not necessarily because those strategies are correct. So are you getting what I'm saying? So the real traders spend a lot of time with the rigor of approach. They are spending time doing stuff like what I've seen today. Checking what is the most effective time for you to get into this thing, because there's money there. But you also know it's not a child's play. It's not a game. That's the first thing that I've seen. That so when you speak, you hear reasonable, you can relate to reason. Do you understand? This thing is not shrouded in some box where, I mean, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have all of these people who are very smart in their careers, who can understand things when you talk to them. But when you talk to them about Forex, they just switch off their brains. It's amazing. Saying that you can open up your brain, open up yourself to what understanding and ask questions the next time somebody tells you he's a trader. Some people go for one-day courses and call themselves trader. The next thing you know, there's FX in front of their name. David FX. After one day seminar, you are not going to succeed. Now that's the first one. So there is rigor of approach and testing for those people who are successful. I'm telling you about tens of thousands. Haven't met over my 13-year career many traders. Haven't been the person who managed accounts, set up technology solutions for them. For instance, the copy trading is going to be running on our solution. How did it even run on our solution already? Encrypt capital copy trading, allowing clients international, by the way, not just in Nigeria. Because when you set up on CapitalxTend, you are global. So clients all over the world with good performance can get it and say, hey, I want a part of this. Are you listening to me? Are you following me? The next thing is past ROI per data must exist. And there must be willingness by whoever that trader is to be accountable. Are you getting what I'm saying? There's a significant lack of accountability in and around FX. Give me money, let me trade. Okay, what have you done before? Don't worry, I'm a good trader. I know how to do analysis. Which accounts have you traded before? Show us results. Don't worry. Did you hear what I said? Just trust me. Trust you based on what? Because you put up a chat on WhatsApp? Because, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying the best traders have what? They must have past performance. We're talking many months now after Gbolahan's Encrypt copy solution launched on CapitalxTend, where I and my team sat down and continue to watch. They must be willing to be accountable. Are you listening to what I'm saying? By the way, this is not popular. For instance, now some of you know some quote-unquote multimillionaire traders. Have you seen their performance? The ones that are driving Lambo. Look, I told you before that I am so old in this industry, I don't need to pander to people. Are you listening to me? Even if it comes at a slightly, this makes it a little bit discomfortable. Are you following me? The next thing is the best traders must have a rule-based approach to risk management. Rule-based. Maximum exposure. single exposure, all of those things. So the best traders must understand those things. I quite like the next one I want to talk about, absence of sensationalism. Where, do you know the meaning of what I just said? Making everything like, wow, 0.1 never made mama rich. I don't know if you've heard that kind of thing. I hear a lot of nonsense in the FX market these days. What I'm saying is, for those of you who are trading, 0.1 is a lot size. They encourage you to increase it randomly, flouting every sensible risk management. Not can better lot, yes. So that you go figure out sharp. The best traders, are you listening to me? They don't sensationalize. They understand this is a game of probabilities, but there are some probabilities that are better than others. Are you listening to what I'm saying? That is to say, every game of investment, for instance, a per month example, you are not absolutely sure because there are forces of demand and supply that exist outside of yourself. However, past performance can help you. If you have done something called rigorous research, you have sat in a place where nobody is congratulating you. They are not congratulating you in the morning hours, comparing notes, looking at data, and trying to gather inference, repeated pattern, so that you can know when know when to enter. That is not a lazy man's job. Are you listening? It's easier to shoot content than to do that. For the sake of the industry and the sanitization of the industry, we need more Gbolahans and his team. Please give them a round of applause.
They are busy. Everybody's busy eating.
Okay, that's fine. Lastly, very importantly, brokerage terms that provide, number one, good technologies. For instance, the copy trading technology. There are some companies that don't even have it. That Gbolahan. Some companies don't even simply have it. Get you a broker. So not all brokers are the same. So we're looking at things like good trading terms for the trader, because there are things like spread commissions, slippages, the reality of the industry. It is very important. And that is the reason why it's also good for when firms or individuals want to trade, you should test out accounts and look at the trading environment. How you were speaking about NFP, and how does the company react during those periods of high market volatility? How is the pricing? It's not just popularity. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Safety of funds. I'll talk about CapitalxTend a little bit for that. I am not aware of a lot of companies that give $1 million account guarantee. We do that. I think you should give CapitalxTend a round of applause. The same way you have National Deposit Insurance Fund that provides for, you have that firm, right, in Nigeria that provides security of funds for people in the banking sector. So if you have an account now with Zenith Bank, there is an insurance company, government-owned insurance company called NDIC. Do you ask if your broker has that? If you're not asking, you should ask. We have that. $1 million by Lloyds. Please give a round of applause. Per account. So if all of you are here, $1 million per each account, guarantee, should anything happen. Are you listening? Because at the end of the day, the brokers are where your money, and that's the reason why he's saying, because he's not taking your money is within the brokerage account. There must be a sense of security where the funds are actually kept. So the brokerages it is important to understand the role of the brokerages. You cannot succeed without them. Having a bad brokerage, you can't succeed. Because two things. Number one, trading terms will be bad against you. If the spreads are high, it means money is being taken away. How many of you are traders in here? Raise your hands. Ever traded before? Are you following what I'm saying? So I do hope that this has been useful, and I hope that this will help as we look forward to growing our industry. I came in yesterday. What time was it? Well, my flight was supposed to be, because I don't live here. I live in Abuja. I came in The flight was delayed. But you know, I'm very excited to collaborate with you. A lot of what we've done has been digital. This is the first, and I assure you, this is only the beginning. This is absolutely only the beginning. I want to let you know that within this industry, there's a mainstream industry, the banks, the mortgage firms, that are looking for people who know what they are doing in the FX space. There are not enough of them. I look forward to a lot more collaborations with you, Gbolahan and the Encrypt team. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward. And by the way, we have our team here. We have our Lagos office. Debbie, the Lagos office is at Argos Building, right? Very close to Chesterfield Hotel on Adeniyi Jones, Ikea. So if you have any questions, you can meet up with my team here, who are represented here, the Lagos team, a number of the Lagos team, and then we can speak from there. Thank you so much for your time. It's been good being here.
Thank you so much, sir. Please a round of applause for Mr. David Alagbada and CapitalxTend. You know, I didn't want to be the one to, or we rather, didn't want to be the one to, or the ones rather, to tell you all that is happening in the industry, because a lot of us have had our fingers burnt. You probably have an edge, you probably have a strategy. You go on YouTube and you see somebody has 10 million followers, and the person did a video a few hours ago that has 1 million views already, and you're like, this guy must know what he's saying. You borrow money, you put it in, and everything goes down. And you're like, oh, is it, how did it? Maybe it's because, like, you keep changing and iterating, you know, moving from one strategy, one team to the other, and you find that you come out thinking most of the time that Forex doesn't work. Truly, Forex works. The question is, who do you know? Who is your idolo, as you call it? A round of applause for Mr. David for opening our eyes to all that takes place within the industry. So I would, and of course telling us about CapitalxTend. I would like to invite to the podium one of our own, Mr. Ogunleye Damilare, who will be talking to us on our business strategy. He's a professional Forex trader and analyst with Encrypt Capital. Please, as he forward, a round of applause for him. He'll be telling us a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Oh, well, I wouldn't like to call myself a professional Forex trader. I don't like that label. I don't like labels generally, so I'm just me, yeah, and I like money, so I trade the Forex market just to make money, basically, yeah. And well, I would say one thing before I start. I'm not part of this team accidentally. I didn't get here by accident, but to get here, there was a wake-up call for me at some point. So, well, if you listen to Gbolahan, he said there was a time he told his roommate never to talk about trading or Forex or charts in the house anymore. Well, I was the roommate. And, and yeah, we got to that point where, okay, I've used my school fees, you have used your school fees, I've used my accommodation fees, you have used the accommodation fee, let us cut, and what's the way forward? Now we have lost everything. And then I decided to get a job, and the job landed me in a cell, ideally. so yeah, I went for NYSC. I was in camp for 3 weeks, and then I was a supervisor at work. A subordinate stole money in my absence. Then I came from camp to resume work to be locked up. And when I got locked up, Gbolahan came the next day, of course, to get me out and all. And I got into my house. And if you have ever slept in a cell before, you know you need some form of cleansing if you leave the cell. So I got home and I got into the bathroom to take my shower. And I thought about it, that why was I locked up? Because of money. Okay, how much are we talking about? 20,000 naira. I'm like, no, you can't be living like this, bro. This can't be your life. Considering how much you've traded in the markets, even though, yeah, you've lost them, but then you have a level of capacity. This can't be your life. Then I went back to Gbolahan. See that talk of not seeing charts, we'll revisit it. We will see charts again. We'll open charts again. It's just that this time, we have to do it right. And I think that was a turning point for us, because we went back, way back to the basics, doing research and giving out numbers, coming up with strategies, understanding risk to reward, and the little things that we missed in the beginning when everything was just all about the money. But then we realized it was more about the process than the money. And since then, well, I'm not where I used to be. And, well, I can't say I'm making money, but I'm better. Yeah. yeah. And yeah, before I leave, I would say one thing. One of my favorite mentors, Jim Rohn. I didn't live to meet him. Jim Rohn is one of the classical people I listen to. He says one thing. He said, "You are not a tree," which means you can change the direction of your life by yourself. You can move. If you don't like your house, you can pack out. If you don't like who you are, you can even change your name. And there's no time to start. You can start now. You can start tomorrow. But I would really like, if you want to start, that you should start now. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for Damilare. Dami's words were very succinct. And he has told us to start when? Now. So please, once you finish eating and you put your spoon, get up and do what? Start. Please, a round of applause for Dami once again. Also, you don't have to get to a prison cell before. The first time I heard this story, I laughed my ass out. It takes prison sometimes to get your brain to do what? To work. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, if you've not been there before, it's not until you get there. So let's learn from him. That's why we have brain cells. That's why we have brain cells. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll bring somebody else who is also in-house, who will share with us a little about our business model and risk management. His name is Sam Agbabo. He is... We open up before we... He is a portfolio manager with Encrypt Capital. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward. Before I give you the mic, have you slept in cell before? No. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have to get to that. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Agbabo Samuel, and just like everybody has the story, you know, one thing definitely into forex. If it is not prison cell, it is losing everything that you have. You know, one day you are rich, and the following day you are on your way to the village. You know, and those moments are actually the moments that brings about the wake-up call for you. What exactly you want to do? Do you want to progress or not? You know, standing right here, I can see Mr. Chima, I can see Wale, and so many other traders here. You know, our story is usually the same. You know, but the only turning point is what we choose to do with the story. You know, one thing that is peculiar about our team and what really drives us is what we choose to do with what has happened to us. Like Gbolahan said, we can make all of the money we want to and keep it to ourselves and just live a silent life, actually. But then our stories have this kind of connection, which means that people that wants to go this route are most likely going to go through the same thing. And what we are basically doing is like offering out a lifeline, which you can choose to take or learn the hard way. Because the truth of the matter is that in this industry, you are definitely going to pay. If you don't pay a mentor, you will pay the market. If you don't pay the market, you will pay for mentorship, but you have to pay. Okay? And we don't want it to be that your payment would come with extra baggage of emotional damage and trauma that some people never recover from. As a matter of fact, most of the people you see online that are telling you stories about how that this thing is too volatile, this thing is scam and all of those things, there are people that have been scarred by this market, you know, and they choose not to pick up the pieces and proceed, you know. That is why they come up with all of those stories. Basically, what we do is that we decided to build products and services around the trading, the financial market, such that when you come across us, we have something to offer to you, such that you don't need to go through all of the pains that every other person goes through to actually become profitable in this market. For example, one of those things is our mentorship platform. where we have many people here who are already part of the mentorship platform. And truth be told, our mentorship is not about coming to teach you all of those concepts in the industry. I don't want to start mentioning their names now. It's not about that. The uniqueness of our community is that we want you to actually unlearn the things that actually bring about the characteristics of people who lose money in this industry. Let me give you an example. The forex market is designed such that, Mr. David said it, is designed such that it is against you. The odds are naturally stacked against you. And to top it all, our configuration as humans and the traditional work ethics fights against you in the financial market. Because when you bring the work ethics of the traditional person into the financial market, you are definitely going to lose. Number one, you want to work more hours to make more money. It doesn't work like that in this industry. If you work more, when I mean work more, put in more time in the sense of trying to find something to do just to make money, you are definitely going to lose money. You know, and like that, we've come to understand the fact that what actually gives you an edge in this industry is a system, not just a strategy. There's a difference between strategy and system. What you see on YouTube, they are strategies. And I can tell you for a fact that every strategy works in this market. In fact, they work simultaneously. So if you are using ICT, you are using SMC, you are using whatever, they work. And they work simultaneously. But then what gives you the edge is the system. Do you trade a session? Do you trade a pair? What is the timing? In fact, for those people who trade HIN with us, we have a timing. If you miss the timing, you will definitely lose money. It is that simple. So we've ensured that we built every single strategy that we have. We don't call it strategy, we call it systems. Because there are rules to it. In fact, if I teach you HIN today, and you go out there, you can't trade it until probably you've been part of us for like 6 months before you can trade it yourself. If you are not part of the community call that we have every time we want to trade, 15 minutes to the trade and all of those things, you might not be able to take the trade with us because you don't know how you're going to go about it. You know, so we've decided to build structures and systems such that everybody coming into the industry would not just come and learn the hard way, but actually come and learn with the support of a community ready to embrace you as you try to find your feet in this industry. That is the first one, our mentorship. We also have the copy trading, like he said. Now, the principle guiding the copy trading is the principle of transparency and accountability. We want you to be in control of your money. And that is why we decided to use this approach, you know, to ensure that you do business with us. Not everybody here will be able to come on the call 2 p.m. every New York session every day. Some of us will be at the office. Some of you are just taking your lunch break. You won't be able to have that time. What we are simply saying is that you can connect to a system that already works and make use of that platform such that your money is still in your own control. You can start to pull it out whenever you want, just like your bank account. And that is what we are simply trying to do on the principle of accountability. For those who are in our consortium, after every trade, before every trade, we come to you with how much of your money we are taking to the market. This is it. So when you use your investor's password to check the account later on and you see that this thing is more than what he said he was going to risk, you know, trust has been breached. You know, so all of this is just to ensure that, like Mr. David said, the madness in this industry is reduced to the barest minimum, such that I can win, investors can win, and even brokers can win. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Gbolahan Samuel also doubles as the CFO of the company. Please, a round of applause for him once again. It's very simple. We don't want to win alone. We also need you to join us and win. That is why all of this is taking place. So, I would now like to invite to the podium to also speak for a few minutes. Mr. Mayowa Fagbote is a financial analyst and is also the chief relationship officer of the company. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward.
Thank you, Engineer Dara. By the way, he's also our man. Please, a round of applause for him too. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see everyone here, and we're really glad to have you here. You've heard a lot from the team and from everybody, and to really bore you with many technicalities. And I'm just here just to, just point out 4 things that I feel, every right-thinking investor wants to see. We are talking about forex now, but almost the same rule applies throughout the financial market. If you are in stocks, you are in penny stock, anywhere. So the same rules apply. And these 4 principles these 4 stuff that I wrote, number 1, risk. And if you check the story with all of us, right, in the Encrypt Capital team, one thing that has brought us together is how well beaten we've been in the past. We've lost thousands of dollars into this market, and and I think one of the major reasons was because we were looking at what the market could give. We're also looking at the risk part of the market, and that's one of the things that drive us really in Encrypt Capital, so that we don't want people, right, to make the same mistakes that we made. We've been scarred. You don't need to be scarred, right? So if I throw a question like, so if you have two offers for investment, right, and you have one that says you are going to get 20% for 5% risk, and the other that says you are going to get 80% for, say, 20% risk, what will you choose? I want somebody to say something. It's the same thing. Okay, he said it's the same thing. So if someone gives you an option of 5% risk for 20% reward and 20% risk for 80% reward, it's the same. Is it the same to you? It's not the same to you, sir. How is it not the same? What makes it not the same? The risk is higher. So it's just like you want to go and catch a fish and you have a long hook, and you have the option of dividing the hook into 5 places or into 20 places. Which one keeps you in the business longer? The 20 ropes. So it means that with one rope you may be able to catch one at a time, while maybe with you may be able to catch maybe 5 at a time, but you could still eventually lose the 5, and you're out of the business. But what we are doing in Encrypt Capital is ensuring that we are risking the littlest based on you heard the CFO speak about systems. What we are doing is beyond strategy. Like my friend Gbolahan will say, strategy is like 2 for 15 naira. Strategy is everywhere. But what makes the difference really is the system. And our system is in such a way that, we just go with the littlest we can do and trust our system to ensure that we keep producing and we stay in the market for as long as possible. And let me tell you something of the, maybe is it really an inside information? Each portfolio right now in Encrypt Capital, before we blow out each portfolio, irrespective of whatever capital somebody's trading, we will have to have lost 30 times in the market consistently. And with a strategy that gives 66%, is that really possible? No. It's possible if you don't have a system. But what I'm saying here is we have a system to ensure that we keep you in the market for as long as possible. So that's why even when you look at some of the results, you saw that 1 month was a bit lower, the other was a bit higher. I think there was a month we had minus 0.07, right? That's because that same month, like November and I think January, this January was a mess. You need to look at the social media. A trader said a trader was losing about $15,000, an entire capital of an investor. Is that trading or gambling? That's gambling. So it's not by how you see. One of the ways you see a good, trader is not by. That's why they sway people with, how much they make. I made $100,000 today. But what portion of your capital is that $100,000? So if you had $300,000, you blew $100,000. You're a gambler at once. So what we are saying here, and what we are trying to show here, because I know that you've seen the technical side. I'm trying to bring your mind down to, because we are talking about investment here generally. Trying to bring your mind to how a right-thinking investor should think. Someone said it's the same thing because it's times 4. But look at the risk aspect. So I want to show you how this thing is so crazy that with consistency is how you can actually build wealth. And that is what we are trying to do with the forex market. Some people will tell you, you know, they're in the they're in the stock market. Like Warren Buffett will tell you he doesn't like the crypto market. That's because he's doing fine in the stock market and he's using a system that works well for you. So you can also build wealth with the forex market. It just depends on your approach. So if you look at, for instance, okay, how many of you can, at least by the end of this month, you have 100,000 naira in your account? Everybody now, you are a big man now. Why not they whine me? Okay, we know that right now in the country, you can 100,000 naira is like fuel, transport for go work, come 100,000. But what if I tell you that that could be an amount that could be enough for you to retire? It's not possible, right? Thank you, damn Larry, for putting up compounding calculator. So let's do something here. I want to show you the strength of consistency and compounding, right? Shaking, Abby. Okay, it's good. So beyond the strategies that we're talking about, I believe that what we are really giving out to every investor is the consistency of our system. And that is what I believe makes the wealthy. Nobody gets wealthy by risking all they have in the market. That's why you know, many of these great investors, like some will say, they like boring numbers. You know, the doable numbers, 3%, 5%, because they understand at the back of their mind that, okay, this is something that can be repeated over time. You tell an investor now, you have to give him 100% in 1 month, he will run. Tell someone like Warren Buffett that, he will run. So now let's look at this. So let's assume this is naira, right? So please input 100,000 naira. Let's assume. That's 5. 2 more. No. Yes, 1 more. Thank you. Now bring this down to not even 5. Bring it to 4. On an average monthly. No, just here. Yeah. For 20 years. Because I know most of the people in the working space, they get to work for 20, 25 years, and at least my dad did that, and they gave him some few millions, and when he went into business, he lost everything. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Please, can somebody please, how much are you saying, sir? Let's assume it's naira.
That's 1.2 billion.
1.2 billion.
Yeah.
From how much? From 1K. Can someone from 100,000? Can someone tell me why? Is this not mind blowing? That 100,000 naira can actually be a source of wealth in the future for you. But what makes the difference? You're actually looking for 100% with your 100,000 naira. If someone should tell you, I'll give you 3%, 4%, maybe not even promising you something. It just shows you something that is consistent. And you're like, oh boy, I bet for on top of 100,000 naira, how much that one go do? But look at the results in 20 years. So this is what we are giving. We are not talking about just forex. We are talking about building wealth. And the other side, the sweetest part of this is that you have full control. I'm not Canada. Oh, sorry. I won't take your money. We're not taking your money. See what you did there. Yeah. Your money is in your control, and that is why the brokerage is there for you. So you have access. So if you decide to do the simple interest, which is the regular, you just at the end of every month, you just take out your own interest, maybe to sort out one bills or something. Fine. But you have the access to always get your money, pull out your money from the broker. If you have 1 million naira now, it's your money. It's not with us. It's yours. And that is what we are offering here. So we are more or less just giving you the option. And honestly, we've gone through pain to achieve this. Sleepless nights, research, a lot of all those things. Repeating front testing, back testing, just to ensure that we are giving out the best. And tell me, if we don't do it, who should? That's one of the things that gave us courage to go out. We see traders out there messing up things making financial market look like get rich scheme, quick scheme, making it look like, you know, a place that you shouldn't be. That's the place to build wealth if you do it the right way. So I was telling a friend that honestly, you have all you have just done for this event is just to come and hear us talk. We put a lot of resources to make this happen. So you have you have all the advantage here, and that depends on you to, you know, take the leap of either going back to look for the hardest ways to make this, or simply just plugging into something that really works. And as a relationship officer, we have your best interest at heart. That's part of my job in Encrypt Capital, to ensure that everybody here at the long run has feels our impact in the right way. And I hope that this event is something that has brought enlightenment, and something that has brought, that you are seeing as that change that you need, or that vehicle that you need to jump on to achieve your financial goals. Thank you for coming once again.
Thank you so much, Maiwa. Please, a round of applause for our CRO. He has related properly with everybody here. I'm sure that we enjoyed everything he said. Now, those were testimonials that are actually in-house. I would want to step out a bit to speak with people and hear people speak who have interacted with us over the last couple of months. People who are not in-house, people who were looking for solutions when a sure solution actually found them. The first on my list is, like Voli said, from the top to the bottom. Mr. Yekini Iyola. Daddy, please come forward and just give us your experience in 5 minutes, and what you would say to anybody who is experiencing Encrypt Capital for the first time.
Thank you very much. So once again, good evening to everybody. So I introduced myself earlier as Mr. Yekini Iyola Wasim. So I will just share my journey in this digital business as this, because there is no how I will say my story without one guy here who happened to be my son, Mr. or Engineer Fagbote Mayowa. So what really happened is this. As I said, my name is Yekini. I'm a retiree of Total Nigeria PLC. I retired February last year. But my journey in crypto business started since August 2021. And what is the company name then? Yes, so through my son, Mayowa, who assisted me in joining the group. But everything was going on well, but up to a point, they call it bearish season. so bearish season, all what I have as capital dipped down to nearly zero. So I have to step aside. But I'm still a staff of Total Nigeria PLC. I was doing my work. Why did I go into the business? Is because I am looking for what I would do after retirement, and that was how I joined the crypto something. So when everything was not going on fine, so as I stepped aside, I kept on disturbing my boy Mayowa, that Mayowa, so your dad has retired now. What are we going to do? But God so kind for me. It was on his wedding day in September that we met, and all his groommen, they were ready to do their dancing and every stuff. He now said, "Okay, Daddy, where you come? See this man. This is Mr. Gbolahan Bolarinwa. He's the one you need to hold tight. Is the one you need to hold tight, because they are now in forest business, and by the time you hold him tight, every of your problem will be solved." Okay, I said, okay, no problem. By then, I quickly registered as a mentee under Gbolahan in September. So I started my training under him, Then we were doing this strategy called HIN. So this is a strategy that you need to execute your trade under 5 seconds. So it was very tough for me, but I didn't know what was going on. It was my wife that came to me one day that, Mr. Man, see how you are shivering while taking this trade. I said, am I shivering? Don't you see yourself? You are shivering. Okay. I now call my mentor. Gbolahan, see what is happening. Because all the trade I will take, I will lose it. I will lose because if you cannot execute under 5 seconds, it's gone. So my mentor now called me. He gave me some confidence building tips, which made me to now become a superhero. Since then,
a round of applause for him, I beg.
So since then, I began smashing profit upon profit. Even the one we took yesterday, I smashed profit.
Yes,
So what I will just say here today is
network no cash you, daddy.
The network was so terrible yesterday, but with the problem of the network, I smash it. When I sent my report to him, it was very. When I wanted to show him, I said, "Leave me. Let me go and pray Jumat first. I want to quickly rush to mosque. When I come back, I will come and share my report to you." So, and when we did everything, we look at my net, which was very okay with the capital I used for the trade. So Gbolahan is somebody I would recommend to everyone here, because when you talk of transparency, this is the guy called transparency. It is Gbolahan. And Gbolahan just he sees everybody as his blood. That is how he has related to us. I see myself as the oldest among every one of them, but the way he relates with me, let me say the way I relate with them, I mingle with them as if we are mates, but they are giving me my real regard and respect. So Gbolahan is somebody that if you hold him tight, as my boy said, you achieve everything you want in Forex. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daddy. Daddy, thank you so much. I met Daddy on the WhatsApp group. I'm like, I went and opened the display picture. I'm like, who is this Agba that was doing Forex? I didn't know that I was going to meet you today, sir. And believe me, the energy on the group is the same thing in physical. Thank you so much, sir. Please a round of applause for Daddy. Wow. At this juncture, I would like to ask someone else, much younger, one of us, Mr. Yomi Ogumuyiwa, to come and share a few words of basically his experience working with Encrypt Capital. Just a minute. I know you're shy. Just make it short, make it small. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me at the back.
Raise your mic. Raise the mic. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I didn't expect to be called out because I was not informed. Yeah. So I've been part of the journey. I would say I joined the group FX One Room sometimes last year, and that was when we started with the HIN strategy. And I used to stay in the UK. I just relocated, so I have the luxury of funds and stuff to like start a strategy. And I used to work as a process engineer, so I saw everything. It was making sense to me. And I'm this kind of person, I can't say, bro, I don't like it at all. I've been complaining that I don't want to stay there and all of that. So when I saw there is a progress with this, I checked my portfolio, the HIN strategy, I was making money back to back. And then I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to relocate back to Nigeria.
A round of applause. Jackpada.
There is no point. So after staying there for about 3 years plus, I was just like, well, I'm just going to face this financial marketing thing full time. And I just told him, like, bro, January I'm coming back home. And this session will be having in Lagos. I'll be there. So yeah, I joined him. He's got integrity. His team, they are amazing. I mean, anytime you just want, I can eat him up in the midnight and then he responds. That's just what, like, he's very, 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 he's so much there for you to reach out to him. It's not someone that you get your money and then you want to reach out and someone is just putting you on hanging and then you don't get a response on time. So HIP strategy, we started that. I joined the HIP 1K for 200K. I joined sometimes in September or so. It seems they were testing in August and I didn't bring it up until September to the group. So I keyed into that already and I'm on the journey as well too, hoping to get my 100K in the next in the next 2 years as well. While I'm still making my money on, and I joined the live session as well to the HIP strategy. So after putting my 1K in the account for the normal one he's doing, so I still do it. Because I still have access to that fund stuff. I still use as well. So it's more like if I'm winning with his copy trading, I'm still winning in other aspects as well. So yeah, this is just me saying to you that it's a very life-changing opportunity that you need to key in. If you've got the luxury of capital, why not just try it? So yeah, I've not regretted. I mean, for me to leave the UK and start, I resigned in January as a process engineer. So I just don't want that lifestyle there. I prefer it here, so that's why I decided to come. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
You have replacement. I can replace you. Please, a round of applause for him. So that means that if we have more of this, if we get guys in the diaspora doing this, they may also, let's pitch it to government and see, maybe a possible. Say well done. Thank you so much, Mr. Yomi. But a good product doesn't really need too much talk. That's the truth. A good product sells itself, and that's exactly what is happening. I will call 3 more people. They will be also as brief as Yomi has been, and it's really just a function of no matter how old you are, you can start afresh. No matter how young you are, there is no time that is too young for you to prepare for the future. When I look at what I know now, and I look at how much I suffered doing somebody's job, I'm like, damn, I should have been here a long time ago. I would like to ask Mr. Christian Benjamin to come forward and share with us his own experience with Encrypt Capital. Please, a round of applause for him. The man in the Banga boy. The one in the Panama hat. After this, I will invite Mr. Ibidamola Bankole and then Covenant.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christian. My name is Christian. I'm the CEO of Chris AJ Stores. We do in sales of liquor and red wine. So I met Gbolahan sometime last year. That was October, during one of our guys' wedding. So when I looked at him, I was like, guy, which job you gonna do, Seth? Because I saw him putting on suit, tie, and he was like, he's rushing to work. I was like, which work did they do, Seth? So we spoke about it. So though I gave him a lift, so during the drive, we spoke, and he told me, you can make money within 5 seconds. Oh, that one first bust my head. Make money in 5 seconds. I was like, ow. And he explained everything for me. So after some months, I was still contemplating if to join or not. So I paid to join the group. After joining the group, I was still not trading with them. I was still observing. Because, as a young guy, you don't have to just to rush into something. Just have to know about that thing very well. So I was observing in the group how the trade was going and all of that. So after some months, I started trading. So I started with a little amount of money. Then after some months, I was having profits. let me say I was convinced enough, so I added more money. Then from then, it's been profit upon profit. I won't lie to you. We are talking about thousands of dollars. You know, when it comes to the NFP trade, it's always joy. It's always joy. So, for those of you that are yet to join, I'll tell you guys, you are the right place. I won't lie to you. You are the right place. For me to bring my friends, they should know this is legit. I do see a lot of traders on Snapchat, on IG, with their flamboyant lifestyles and all of that. But I don't know, my spirit don't just go for them like trying to join their own group, something like that. But all I'll say is he's a good guy. He's good at what he does. Like, I don't know. Okay, let me say this. For the capital and everything, you know, when I started making profit, you know, I love money. I love making money. So the profit, they enter my eye. Like, they like show banker. You get. So when I was making more, like, bro, make I increase this capital. I was so eager to make more money. But it taught me risk management. I was increasing the profits little by little, little by little. And today, you know, by the special grace of God, we thank God, Sha. We thank God. So I encourage you guys to join. Just give it a try. I promise you won't regret. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christian. Please, a round of applause for him again. Give it a try. Those were his words. You will not regret it. I would now like to call Ms. Abidamola Bankole and then Covenant. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Are we in the afternoon? Oh, we are in the evening. My name is Abidamola Bankole, and my own journey is so long, I can't share it in 5 minutes, so I'm going to be very brief with it. If you are here today, I really envy you, because it's like you're coming into the simplicity of what you can ever see in Forex market. I learned about Forex in 2007, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say I'm not a people person anymore. When I found out that this is something you can do without relating with anybody, you buy, you sell, you withdraw your money, you don't need to contact anybody whatsoever. I said, this is what I'm going to do, because people could be very, very difficult. So I don't suffer. I don't suffer. I met Goli Encrypt at the time when I have decided that I am not going to learn anything, research anything, do anything with Forex but what I know. And when my friend introduced them to me, he was like, oh, meet a profitable trader. I said, Mamure Mugun, another person. I walked up to him. I said, okay, I've met your type before, and I've listened to a lot of people, and the money will be promising you that you are going to make is actually in your pocket, because it's either they are selling wrong course or they want you to click on their YouTube page and want to make money from you, or whatsoever way they plan their own way of making money from you. I kept him in my bank, and I kept watching his status for like a year, and he kept unfolding. Oh yeah, we made this profit this time, you made this profit this time, we have this drawdown, and the whole year they ended with 118% thereabout. I said, if you don't understand English, I meant it's like these people are doing something. No. So when he came around and they had a webinar, I attended it, and he unfolded the HRN. I said, okay, it makes sense, but do I want to do this again? Do I want to go through this route again? Because I don't suffer. do I want to go through this route again or focus on things that I want to do? And they sent Agbabo, they sent him to me. Sam, that guy showed me Pepe. He was on my neck. He was calling me like I am his girlfriend. But eventually I spoke with Gbolahan. He was able to convince me eventually. And today, the rest is history. I joined July, and I've been trading with them, and my account is 100%, more than 100% now. I traded yesterday, and I caught a lot of fire in it. So if you are here today, I'm telling you that this is one of the best things that can ever happen to you in 2025. I don't sell dreams. I worked with a pharmaceutical company for 6 years. I was on sales. I didn't really do well because I don't know how to lie. So if I'm telling you that you are in the right place today, this is my own experience. And you will see my face one day and you say, Bankole Ebenezer Bidamola or Suriri. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. He says he doesn't know how to lie, and you can actually see that he doesn't know how to lie. He's very honest about not being able to lie. Thank you so much, sir. You know, he spoke from the heart, and what everybody has said, they are not alone in their journey. You would find 2 or 3 more people here who are also on that journey with them. Then the last person I'm going to bring is the youngest in the list, and well, when you hear him speak, you would also be able to judge for yourselves that if you have a younger brother, you have a son, you have a cousin, you have a niece, you have a nephew, invest in somebody, change somebody's life forever. They'll be very grateful to you. I would like to invite Covenant Olakunle to come and address us. Thank you. He's a fine Gen Z boy. Please a round of applause for him as he's coming.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Olakunle Covenant. I'm a 200 level zoology student from ENLAG here. And basically, I'm just here as a living proof to show everyone that you don't need to know much to make money from this market. Because even yesterday, they were actually making jokes and they were like bantering me that I don't know, like the most basic form of like this market, like the basic things like time zones and all. But one thing I'm sure of that I know how to do is make money out of this market. So I'm just here to just tell people that it doesn't need to like get this technical. You don't need to know this. Ideally, you came here to like make money, and I know how to make money, and you can know how to make money. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Covenant. It's straight to the point. All right. I remember I was there when the bans were taking place. You know, we were asking about when New York opens, when London opens. Like, the truth about the matter is that you don't even need to understand anything that Gbolahan spoke about. The only thing you need to know is you will make money. If on the copy trading account, without basically doing anything active, at the end of a year, you can have 3x on your account. Come on. You see, when you now decide to devote a little beyond, because before you do that 5 seconds trade, it would have been like 30 seconds of tension before that 5 second trade. Then you now take that 5 second and like, whoo. I remember taking the trade yesterday. I was shouting. When my girlfriend was there, I was like, why am I shaking like this? And then you come out, you feel alive, you feel happy, you make money, and really at the end of the day, you just want something where you get value for yourself at the end of the day, and you turn back and look at, for those of you who have been in a 9 to 5, you look at how much time, effort, report, results you have spent, and sometimes it doesn't even equal 1/10 of what you make in one trade. Ladies and gentlemen, I will at this juncture like to invite back to the podium Mr. Gbolahan Bolarinwa, the CEO, Encrypt Capital, to hear him round up everything he said in the beginning. Boss, a round of applause for him.
Hope you all are having a good time. If you're having a good time, say yeah. Please go back to my slide. Okay, so go to almost the end. Where is the stuff? Do slideshow. Do slideshow, don't worry. Do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? What's his name? If you don't know Warren Buffett, come and kneel down here. All right, this is one of the big guy, in the investment industry. He's a living legend, right? And one of the things he said as part of his philosophy, he said when you are looking for people to do business with, either as a partner or an employee or what, there are three things that you should look out for. All right. He said number one, you should look out for what? Intelligence. He said number two, you should look out for what? Energy. And number three, you should look out for what? Then he said, if they don't have the last one, which is what? What did he say? Don't even bother about the first two. If they don't have integrity, don't bother about the first two. Someone told me something one time. He said, you can't do a good deal with a bad person. He said you can't do a good business with a bad person. So we pride ourselves in the fact that we are honest people. All right? It's not like we've never been wrong before. But for every time we're wrong, we're honestly wrong. All right? We were honestly wrong. All right? And I believe that this to a level of certainty that this is going to work out. All right? And I want us to do business together. And by the time we are doing our next events in Lagos, I was telling a story about my first event in Lagos. You reminded me of the event yesterday. You mentioned Ibis. My first ever event in Lagos was at Ibis Hotel in 2018. All right? We're expecting like 40 people at that event. Maybe like 10 or 11 people showed up. It was raining. Richard was there. Richard was at the event, and this is the second event in Lagos ever. All right? And by the next time we're having our events in Lagos, I want some of you to have a testimony. To have to come out that, by February 8th, 2025, these guys came here, they showed us a few things, and I decided to take a leap of faith. All right? And as a result of that leap of faith, I'm doing better financially. What gives me joy, what gives me fulfillment in life is to be able to see my brother and say, this is the way, walk in it. And 2 years, 3 years later, Jim Rohn even said that one of the greatest honor that a man can have is to enter into other people's testimonial. To know for sure that this guy is doing financially well because he met me. There's nothing you can do for me that's greater than that. All right? That's what gives me joy. All right? Now, we want to raise $100,000 as far as the copy trading is concerned. We currently have over $130,000 asset under management that we are currently managing, live accounts, not demo, nor prop firm. Real money invested by real people. All right? And we want to raise $100,000 more. And remember, there's a story of talent in the Bible. And the guy was talking about investing to 3 guys. All right? He gave 1 talent. He gave 1 5 talents. He gave 1 2 talents. He gave 1 talent, right? And as you can tell, at the end of the story, the guy that they gave 5 talents, he was able to multiply his own by 2. The guy that they gave 2, he was able to multiply his own by 2 as well. The guy that they gave 1, he didn't do anything about it. It was just idle. All right? He ended up losing even the 1 that he did not have. Right? I'm saying that because when you are faithful with little, what happens? When you are faithful with little, you get more. Because the guy that has 5, they gave him more. Why? Because he has diligently managed that which they've given him. All right? And I believe that is the story of Encrypt Capital. That's the story of our team members. All right? Now, we want to raise $100,000, and there are like 4 different ways that we can decide to go about that. Right? One of the ways could be 10 investors can decide to drop $10,000 each. right? 10 investors can decide to drop $10,000 each, and we'll be able to raise $100,000, and or 20 investors can decide to drop how much? $5,000 each, and we'll still be able to arrive at $100,000. The idea is to raise $100,000 regardless of, you know, the number of people, you know, that contribute that amount of money. All right. Option 3 is that 50 investors can decide to drop $2,000 each. All right, and we're able to raise $100,000. Option 4 is that 100 investors drop $1,000 each. All right. So I don't know how much you want to invest. I don't know, you know, how what your conviction is about everything you've heard today, right? And you've not just heard from us. You've heard from the people that we've served, both community members and investors, you know, of our work. This is real. This is legit. All right. Like I said in the beginning, right? We are not going to run away with your money. We are here to do business, and we are here for the long run. All right. Now, for the people that they are not really interested in the investing side, they are not busy. All right. They are free. They have a free time to do this thing by themselves. All right. For those set of people, there is an offer as well for you to join our community, where there are other traders from 17 to 70. All right. So if you fall between those two age range, you have the opportunity to play your part and also get your share, your fair share of the reward in the financial market. This is a $7 trillion market every day. All right. So I don't care how much money you want to make this year that you cannot make from the financial market, either as a trader, an active trader, or as an investor. All right. So if you want to join our community, we are going to be having a mentorship this first quarter of 2025. As much as possible, we don't want to open the group to anybody. All right. So there's like a periodic admission that we do, you know. So if you are able to join, good. If you are not, that's fine too. And it costs $1,000 to join us, to learn from us. But what you are paying for is not just training. As you can tell, what you are paying for is not training, it's mentorship. There's a difference between I'm training you and I'm mentoring. If I'm mentoring you, I'm taking you by hand. All right. And we are going on the journey of success together. Training, I can bamboozle you with all those jargons. It's not the jargons that will make you money at the end of the day. All right. It's not the jargons that will make you money. Is the execution, and that execution we are going to take you by hand, you know, execute with you, grow with you, and make money with you. See, I've tasted a lot of things in this life. There's nothing better than having a community of people that are growth minded. All right. And everybody is growing together. One of my goals is to have the most profitable trading community in Africa. It took years to be able to even get on that journey, but as you can tell from all the stories that you've heard today, you know, we are on that journey, right? We are not promising you anything. We are not promising that, you know, we'll give you everything, but we are promising you that we'll go on this journey with you, and you can also grow with us. By the next time we are doing this event in Lagos, we won't use Cafe One. Let's scale up, because we'll be in a much better space. All right, financially. And I hope you are there to also tell a story, all right, by that time. All right, so, yeah, so I think one of the things that will be in a lot of people's mind is that we have heard a lot of stories. You know, some have worked, some have not worked out. Okay, what if this does not work? All right, there's always that doubt in people's mind. What if this does not work? What if I pay and I'm not able to get results? Or what if the strategy just stopped working, or the system just stopped working? All right. And to answer your question, the way I will answer it is, okay, what if it works? What if it works? We want to raise $1 million this year, and if you are able to trade that amount of money, you know, over the next 2-3 years, we would have been able to create a $100 million fortune in this market. What if it works? All right. What if it works and you get to earn your own fair share of the amount of money? That's what we are talking about. I don't want to take all the money from the market alone. You can win. I can win. The fact that you win does not take away from my own win. The sky is big enough. The market is big enough for everybody to win. All right. And we want you to join us. We want you to be a part of what we are doing. and I believe that we can win together. All right. So for the purpose of people that want to take up this offer today, we'll be doing a 50% discount on this amount of money. So you can pay 500 to join us instead of 1,000. Please put your hands together for us. Now, there is no amount of money that you can pay to join our community that's not worth it. And I'm saying that with every sense of humility and responsibility. All right. And for the people that have been a part of our community, there's something I write here. You don't get to see this every time. That if you join us, we are giving you a 10% profit guarantee. You know how crazy that is? That is more or less like join us for free and make money. Because if you pay $1,000 to get something and you end up making, to learn something, and you end up making $10,000 as a result of your $1,000 investment, is it good or bad? Super good. If you pay $10,000 to learn something and you only make $100,000 as a result of your $10,000 investment, is that good or bad? Absolutely good. So rich people don't think in terms of price. They think in terms of value. What value am I getting for this money that I'm paying? So no matter how much you pay me or pay my team, we'll give you times 100 of what you pay us in terms of value. I can beat my chest and tell you that. No matter the amount of money you pay us, we'll give you times 100 of the value, minimum. Do you understand me? But we are doing a discount just to, lower the entry barrier to allow, as many as possible people to join us. And if the copy trading is what you want to do, we'll be right in this hall, to attend to you. So what I'll do now is that my team has a commitment form, right, which they will pass around now. You just have to indicate that you are interested in our business. All right, the meeting can still keep on going on. You can, network with people, get to meet, new people. We still have, some time to spend together. All right, so you can just identify by raising up your hand now. They would share a commitment form with you. All right, we can set up your account now, and by Monday, everything just start running. All right, that's on the copy trading side. And if you are joining us as a team as well, you can come and meet me at the back. We do your setup, we plug you into the community of winners. All right, thank you very much for coming out, everybody. And I hope it's been a very, very amazing time, because it's been an amazing time for me. Thank you very much for indulging us for the past few hours, and stay blessed.